Really, Mala? Before I even went live, before I even hit the button to be streaming, you were up in chat waiting to throw cheese at me. Really? Alright, we're... Alrighty, let's back up a little bit. Whoop, there we go. Now I'm staying in the right place. Alright. Welcome back to the table, y'all. Yes, I know some of you have heard about my power issues. Half my power's out, so I'm currently daisy chaining some extension cords and power strips to make this work. But hi, welcome to the table. Hopefully you're all doing well today. Drinking plenty of water, taking care of yourself, getting plenty of sleep. And yeah, welcome to session 1. This is a little bit rushed because apparently Viv got the day off, even though I didn't expect him to have the day off, and Mala's in for a surprise here in probably about a week or two, depending on how fast Twitch moves. But yeah, hopefully I'll have a good game and enjoy, and everything else, I'm just going to go right to the table. We're not going to spend too much time on this because reasons. And hi. And one of these days, Mala's going to run out of points. And thank you, Deku. Yeah, I don't think that emote uploaded right away. Syed. No route today for us, so... Oh, fantastic. Sorry you don't have a game, though. Game is quintessential to existence. I'm getting confetti to death. Unfutable. Okay. Let's just make sure I did this right. Oh, maybe it did instant upload. There's still a little bit in character creation because, as I said, this was a little bit rushed. But since people are doing things, Key, did you want me to do a little bit of the recap? Up to you. Thank you, Bears. Yep, I gave you one. I have yet to figure out everybody else's flaw / specialty traits thing. So go ahead and choose your traits as normal, and I will get to them probably in the next couple of weeks. Hopefully, as long as life takes a deep breath and gets off my ass.
Oh dear.
I have an 11.
As a level 1 character!
Yeah.
Wow.
Stares at my perception being 0.
That's okay, I'll percept for the both of us.
Yeah,
Congrats. Hello, new minuet.
Yeah.
I can smell you! Well, I mean, I get a... It's a class skill. I have 2 in wisdom. I put a skill point in it, and thanks to the trait I picked, I get a +1, and as a cat shark, I get a +4 natively.
I mean, if you want to do recapping stuff, Era, and maybe also sate the moth's curiosity,
What is
I
curious
don't
about
mind.
now?
That's fine. I didn't get to doing the clean up the applications because they're currently disjointed, and nobody be able to read them except for me because of the way I did it. By the way, thank you, Sam Dutter, for making my model into also a mini now. That I can now show off and be like, yes, this is how big Arabane's tail actually is. I have a me on the table.
How do you even walk through doors?
Very carefully.
He does the spin around once he gets in, so that it just kind of spools.
Oh,
Well-
wait. Oh, so you mean the way I'm gonna have to do it if I ever get my suit?
And the thing that I have to do is Sean already. TLDR, I'm also a Shadow Dragon, so I can just become incorporeal at will. That really helps the situation.
Yeah, actually, it's kind of, if you actually try to interact with the tail, you can't actually grab the tail until you get to, like, right here.
Yeah, we decided that because otherwise it just knocked everything over on the table. So I was like, yeah, about that. No, the lines on the map are not also Arabane's or tail. Those are roads.
You mean his tail isn't the foundation for a road?
No, no,
I think that would annoy him too much.
a bit.
Because it would mean he's constantly interacting with people.
Pretty much. Either rate,
Dumbass questions.
so last session, we went over some of the general rules as well as got some of the home rules out of the way. I went ahead and made the players go ahead and fill in an application for their lovely employment at the Recallers. At which point in time, they go ahead and submitted, and apparently they went to the bakery afterwards because reasons, mainly because a certain smoke line got frustrated.
Look,
Oh yeah, I never decided on my pastry.
y'all claiming that cardboard BS has nutritional value.
Which it does.
I refute you.
Hey, Viv.
You cannot refute facts, what?
Here's a suggestion:
Okay. I
meat pie.
think that would take a while.
Yeah, so
Not necessarily, but also like it is a baked good. I can bake.
Well, that or a really big bear claw, your choice. Or a really big apple fritter, because apple fritters are great.
also they are great. There's a
Apple
little
fritters.
donut shop. There's a donut shop near the school that I occasionally like just get a half dozen of the apple fritters from. It's great.
Share.
They also do pigs in a blanket, like big
Excellent.
ones, with like big sausage. It's delicious.
I'd be offended at all the jokes going on in chat, but I'm just going to let them ride at this point in time.
Oh no! What kind of jokes are going on? I don't have it up at the moment.
Apparently, the wall is just now my tail all coiled up, and apparently, the north side of the city is what happens when Arabane turned around too quickly and wasn't careful with his tail.
Ah, yes.
Even though that's not what happened there, but I'll let him have it. By the way, just as a side note for those that are watching, if my tracking gets weirder and weirder throughout the night, it's because I have no light in my office right now whatsoever. And the sun's going down, so pretty soon here it's just going to be dark in here, and there's nothing I can do about it. I mean, there is something, but I'm so terrified to strain my power any more than I currently am. And I have a cat. Cheers,
Cat.
drink. Oh, I guess that's not working. I might put on a phone torch at some point in time. We'll see. Or I'll just be me and be lazy. Did you guys have any other like actual game questions before we kind of hopped into it at all? Or are y'all still just gonna build in the background?
I don't have any
Well, I
more
think-
questions. I'm just putting in my traits.
And yeah, I'm pretty much ready to rock and roll. I think. Just I might swap around a cantrip, maybe, or I might burn 25 more scales and get another cantrip.
I technically can't magic yet.
Oh,
Everybody can get cantrips. Everybody.
That's
What now?
fine. I don't need to look at them right now.
I already bought my two cantrips. I'm good for.
Right, fantastic. In which point in time, you guys have filled out the application and turned it in up in the Souvenirs district, Souvenirs domain. After about a week, let's see here. This goes to Dr. Gerard Volt. This one goes off to Last/Lost. This one goes to Shoal, whom, by the way, Shoal, very important question. Is your dwelling above or underwater? Viv?
What now? Sorry.
Is your dwelling above or underwater?
Under.
Good to know. Yours has a disclaimer to not open it underwater. If anybody would like to read it, only one person has a slight difference and they can read their line separately. They are free to read these out loud and now. One of somebody.
Okay. I guess
Also,
I'll
Viv,
do it. What?
I sent you another trait.
Oh dear. That is yes.
Oh, boy.
That's kind of dumb. That's dumb. Very dumb. Well, I'll be picking that. That'll be perfect. That'll be my two
Here,
traits.
here, Era. I'll link. Here you go.
Oh, no.
I feel like it's perfect.
Oh, that one. Yep.
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 Okay. So, do you want me to start at the welcome part or at the first paragraph?
Go ahead and read the whole thing as you wish.
Okay.
We'll go over
So,
to...
from the Sovereign's Domain, Office of Admissions and Deployment, specifically to one Shoal Brinecoat, others have their own names on theirs. Welcome to the Recallers Organization. After meticulous evaluation and deliberation, we are pleased to inform you that you have been accepted as an esteemed member of our specialized assembly. We trust that your unique set of skills, experiences, and aspirations align seamlessly with our pivotal mission within Twilight. Your dedication and commitment, recovery, and guidance of lost souls are paramount to the ongoing stability of our city. Enclosed in your welcome package, you will find a series of items designed to aid you in your initial days as a recaller. 1. Hat of disguise to ensure your identity remains discreet when necessary. Pretty sure that doesn't work for me.
It does. Just...
Don't you have to be humanoid?
In your case, it's been altered.
Okay. A ring of tongues. Communication is paramount. This will guarantee that no language barrier obstructs our task. And 1 temporary badge. This will serve as your interim identification until official induction. In 5 cycles time, just after lunch, we request your presence at our head office located in the heart of the Sovereign's Domain. This is a requisite session where you will...
Requisite?
Requisite, okay. Is that the right use of that word there?
Yes.
Yeah.
Okay, I don't know. It was tweaking.
I mean, it basically means required.
Yep.
Yeah,
Mandatory.
it's just I don't normally see it used in that part of the grammar. I don't know.
In corporate land, they use it a
It
lot.
makes sense.
I mean, it works, but it's also weird. It's an unusual. It's an unusual structure, but it's still a correct structure.
Probably because
not
you don't work in corporate
English.
world.
Well, not English. This is a requisite session where you will complete your necessary paperwork, receive your official badge, and be apprised of critical organizational protocols. If time allows, we might also introduce you to our available pool of cough companions, and you can choose the one best suited to accompany your group on your ensuing endeavors. Oh God, why does this have to be in cursive?
Because somebody wrote it.
Oh,
Sorry.
I can do it. I can do it.
I think I can read it, but man, it hurts my eyes.
I've got the magnifier on. It's got fine. It's worth noting that while this formal process is in place to meet certain bureaucratic standards, our organization has always prized efficiency and directness over paperwork and formalities. While this letter may seem traditionally formal, understand that it's a formality we endure to keep certain higher-ups content. Once you're through the door, expect a more hands-on and straightforward approach. Once again, welcome to the Recallers organization. We await your presence, readiness, and commitment. Yours in relentless service, Captain Arnold Untheim. I think I said that right.
Yes. Hey, Vari.
Oh, I didn't realize I was muted.
You have an additional note on yours in blue.
Oh boy.
I just saw it and made me laugh.
Oh,
If you want to
Hold on.
read it for the class.
okay. Blue note. Where?
At the bottom.
At the bottom.
I don't see a blue. What? Oh.
You're blind.
Oh, you gave it's over next to Viv.
Oh, is it?
Yeah.
Oh, sorry. Here, we'll put it. There we go.
Okay,
I'm
okay.
not used to you guys moving around yet.
Vari wanted
Okay.
green, so I
Yeah.
picked blue.
Yeah, trust me. Give the rules a read before arriving. It'll make life easier for both of us. Yeah, he went and read them like directly after, but he was gonna be honest about it.
You still got the note.
Yep.
So you guys have received that, and with it you have received a box that in it does indeed have a hat of disguise. Yours, very specifically, Viv, has a hat of not human disguise.
Oh boy.
When you read the little tagline, it says, can turn you into any other quadruped, within reason, in parentheses, of relevant or equivalent size from the world you're in. It does have the Ring of Tongues. This one has a little note attached to it that says, after you guys have completed training, we will discuss further augmentations and how to place them on your body, such as earrings and other such things. And Key, you have a strange object in yours that is a blue sphere that seems to have a divot that goes around the entire center. On one side of it has a large round circle that when you press it, seems to make it quarter in size or go back to its full size. It is about the size of a softball.
What?
Oh no, he's got the Gigantamax crystal.
I've got a giant Pokeball. Yeah, Lost is gonna test this a few times and isn't quite sure what it is.
Do you have Knowledge Arcane?
I don't.
Does
Uh,
anyone?
It's a good question.
yes,
Did you guys
one
meet up
person does.
together to discuss these things? You guys do also receive temporary badges. They look like temporary badges. I don't think I need to clarify that.
I know 3 of us are at the bakery. I don't know if Gerhard was there too.
Gerhard came.
Oh yes, we're all together.
Yep, so this would have been a little bit while later, but yes. Gerhard, if you'd like, you can go ahead and roll a knowledge skill, since I know you only have one, to see whether or not you know what this is.
We're off to a good start.
Nice. You know this
boy.
is a local produce that has been experimented with recently and released by basically the nerds about the city. It is a stasis orb. Something that they were hoping would be implemented by the Recallers to go ahead and deal with tougher enemies that cannot necessarily be fought and bring them back for the city to be dealt with more personally. Obviously, it is completely unique from the Pokeball in every way. It is obviously a stasis orb.
You literally cut me off as I was saying, so it's literally a Pokeball.
I mean, obviously, it is completely separate from the Pokeball. Hi, Dr. Seer.
Wait. You said it is blue, right?
Yep.
We're fucked.
Great ball.
It has
Worst-
absolutely nothing to do with the fact that somebody inside of the city possibly had access to the Pokemon game in their particular world and decided to make an actual Pokeball and find a use for it. Thank you for the follow.
But yeah, like no joke,
As I'm
my
kidding.
worst catch rate is with Great Balls.
They
Which
are
is-
the worst. They are the single worst Pokeball ever made. I hate
Which is
them.
the stupidest thing, because Great Balls are actually the best ball in the first gen because
They are.
And then they scuffed them.
Mm-hmm.
I only use Great Balls to catch Pokemon in raids because it's guaranteed. It's the only way I've ever caught anything with them. And I still haven't managed to use them all.
Oh, how handy. Just clicks button, pockets.
It may or may not make a sound.
Man, I remember the season 1 Pokeball noises. Those were great.
Bing.
The sound effects were always funny.
So, just in case anyone's curious, I used the Super Smash Bros. Version of the Pokeball noise for when people try to catch me.
I have yet to bend my new redeem system to my will. But unfortunately, it works with my tail, and I think my tail is a little bit more important than getting beamed with Pokeballs. I mean, look at it. But yes, you guys have about 5 days, or about roughly a week, and cycles time to kill before you guys show up to the office. So the very important thing is are you guys going to do anything, actually, or are you just going to live your lives? All these tennis balls.
Well, I mean, y'all are always free to come by Lost Bakery, but he's gonna make you pay for it.
Yeah, Fred is going to make sure that his bags are packed and such, and that he's not going to be carrying around 50 whetstones, he'll be carrying around 1 whetstone and other such things like that.
Sounds like a fine idea. You are a guide, correct?
Mhm.
All right. And then, if I remember correctly, Key runs a bakery. We got Mr. Scientist there that lives off of funding,
Basically,
which means he doesn't generally make money. What he does is he pokes things he shouldn't and gets yelled at for a living. Got it. And I forget what
Joel.
Joel does.
Shoal is like half guide, half taxi service.
Oh right, he lets people ride him through the
No,
waters.
he pulls boats. He's got a swim check good enough
Tug.
for it. He's
A tug.
Tuck it, tuck it, tuck it, tuck it, tuck it, tuck it, tuck it.
all right. Let me add.
oh good. Well, at least we've solved the donkey problem.
Perfect. So since we're an actual game now, and I guys get to make you guys roll this, everybody go ahead and roll a d12 for your profit for the week.
Yay.
This swim check is getting
Oh.
ridiculous.
That's fine. I will put it to use sometimes, maybe.
We're not counting this in German, right?
No,
Oh, wait,
eins,
that's
zwei,
wrong.
drei.
Okay, good. Because I was worried I would have no profit.
Oh,
9.
6. Okay. So I make what,
That's
6 scales?
that's a D10.
That's not a
That's what he
d12.
said. Oh, is it D12? I thought it was
Yes.
D10.
Yes, you guys.
Also, these are my dice. Viv.
10.
10.
I got 10.
Uh,
I was already on this half of the screen. I wasn't moving.
you guys are
Okay.
dating. This kind of stuff ends up happening, Barry. Come on now.
Look,
Nope.
I've got my giant metal D20 next to me, and I've got my Lancer coin on top of it. I'm ready. Ready
So
for the session.
You guys will always get a d12 per working week in the city
So I got 3.
until further notice,
Alright.
because it's bound to go up.
So we made 10 scales.
Yes, you did. People
I
in
made
the
back I made back all the money I spent on sunrods.
It seems people in the wharf this week, well, they're all sailors, are getting a very large kick out of being driven around by a shark, a deadly creature.
A cat shark. It's deadlier than a normal shark. It's also a bigger asshole.
You live with sailors. What do you expect them to not love you?
I mean, I literally make it so they can't get their boats. Yeah, of course they're gonna like me.
Why am I imagining accordion music being played as Shoal is tugging a boat along?
Oh, like the Venice canal boat thing.
Yep.
He's more partial. He's more partial to saxophones, to be fair.
Ba 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 ba. Ba
Do
ba ba
do
ba
do
ba
do
ba.
do 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 do.
As we all go on 3 different tangents.
Yes.
Just saxophone convention on a ship.
Why not both? Because sailors are lazy. When they get the chance to be. A sax accordion, that would be no. That goes in the corner where it belongs. I'm sorry, Mala.
You're not sorry.
Yeah, a little. I'm going to give you guys a chance to go ahead and meet up. Do your lunch thing, have a little bit of open role play. I'm going to grab another drink. And I'll be right back.
Oh boy.
So I assume we're meeting up at the bakery again.
And yeah, Fret has leather armor on, a rapier on his belt, um, a bow on his back with a quiver of arrows, and yeah, looks ready.
Meanwhile, serving your food, Lost does not look ready, but that's because he's in his civvy clothes at the moment.
Shoal just has a masterwork tail bag. That's not very full.
You also use a bow?
Fret kind of just shrugs.
Well, good. Maybe you can use some of the arrows I've gotten. Lost.
Dr. Volt seems to be carrying 2 things that could be classified as weapons and 1 thing that could be classified as a tea kettle.
Is the tea kettle a grenade?
No, the tea kettle is actually basically a club.
Okay.
Oh,
Haha.
you've got the traveling kettle.
Yes, because I'm proficient with simple weapons, and that's about it.
So y'all
The other
made-
things are a light crossbow and a, dear God, what is that? It looks like somebody ripped off a part of some giant mechanical creature.
Oh no.
Is it a flamethrower?
No, it is the Volt Arcane Blaster and Barrier Generator Mark 1.
Fret,
Okay, but
Fret
what does
just
it do?
head tilts.
I would think it is rather self-explanatory. It blasters, and it barriers.
I just realized none of you have given a full character description, I think, for stream yet, have you?
We have not.
We haven't, actually. This might be a,
Perfect time.
yeah. I mean, I kind of described Lost last time hurriedly at the end, but given they're currently in their civvy clothes, they haven't changed because they were making y'all fresh food, because they're not going to make you guys have the pre-made stuff. At least until you annoy them enough, then you're going to get the pre-made things. But they're this sort of leonine bipedal mass of dark vapor with these sort of red to magenta eyes, 4 of them, and a really long tail. I don't think there's much else I can say about them at the moment. They don't have their equipment on.
Well, they're also a smoky type creature. Yes.
Yes, they are. They have like little cinder bits that occasionally flicker up, but most of it is hidden because they have clothes on, like a decent person.
And yeah,
Meanwhile,
Fret
go ahead.
Fret is brown kitsune, just regular fox, um
With slap
with
bracelets
kind of
that are
block.
striped green.
Those actually no, because they're so expensive, and yeah, so they unfortunately probably don't
Aw.
exist anymore.
I'm saying you have them.
Oh, okay,
Have them,
okay, this is fine. I
Miss-
appreciate it.
Mr. Neon Samurai.
Yeah. But anyways, yeah, he's got neon green eyes, and neon green claws, and paw pads, and a little bit of accent on his tail is green,
Somebody spent
and
a
he
lot
has
of
green
money on
pants.
tattoos.
Somebody likes the color green.
Yes. He
Uh,
did. He did at one point happen to have an acid katana that he really liked.
They'll just have to get a new one.
Unfortunately, the price of being deleted. Go ahead, Viv.
Shoal Brindcoat is a quadrupedal creature, half cat, half shark. So it's kind of a blend of the two. It's not like cat on one half and shark on the other. Since he's half tiger shark, he is very stripy, with his charcoal gray coat, russet brown stripes, and a little bit of a dark blue as well, fading off of his face into his belly. And he also has green eyes.
Yep, and as a heads up, the commissions are in. We're just waiting for the commissioned art. I also have the HP bars to be changed at some point in time. That's also in the works. Hey!
From nose to tail tip, he's about 10.5 feet long.
And Fret and Shoal both are bonded mind. So Fret will occasionally actually just be like, "Hey, Shoal," but he's not actually talking because he can't.
Only Shoal can hear him.
Very specifically, we have a mute character at the table who has to write on the chalkboard. Fun times. Hey, Taya.
Yes, Dr. Gerhard Volt is what could only be described as looking like a mad scientist. He has goggles covering his blue eyes, a slightly manic grin on his face, and a bizarre combination of jumpsuit, hospital scrubs, and various bits of magic, clockwork, and plumbing attached to his outfit.
Somebody
The
fell
most
in the scrap heap.
The most distinctive thing about him, differentiating him from a normal looking human, are the number of circuit like patterns that appear to be engraved in his skin and pulsate with a soft blue light.
Wum. Wum. Because I had to add a sound effect to that for some unforsaken reason. Hi, I'm the DM. I'm here. I exist here.
Wait, hold on. Tiago, I have an important question.
Yes.
Copy. Whenever it all is quiet, is this the sound that's just gently heard in the background?
Oh,
Game
no.
related.
Oh no.
I didn't have it have. No, it's not a fluorescent light buzz.
I hate that noise. The noise makes me upset.
Same, I'm
The
not going to play
spiritual
it.
level.
After years of working in an office environment, hearing that sound just sucks my soul out a little bit more. Either rate. Yep, so you guys are standing in the bakery. Are you guys gonna have lunch together? Did Lost make lunch?
Yes, I made Shoal a meat pie. I have made rice balls in gigantic air quotes for Fred.
Ah, Fret looks very pleased.
You know, jelly donuts. That joke never gets old. And then
I love how
whatever.
in Poke Emblem jelly donuts were a healing item.
Oh gosh. And
Oh, sorry.
no, go ahead.
Uh, yeah. What type of rice balls are they?
I'm gonna say that today they were strawberry.
Wow.
Strawberry
Ooh,
is good.
Super fancy. Damn it, now I'm hungry.
And that's why I'm eating.
Yeah. And then whatever Dr. Volt
Delicious.
wanted. And then Lost is having a simple buttery croissant because he can't have sugar.
Yes, I'm always hungry, Beerus. I get it.
Oh,
But I want
right.
a rice ball now.
I never told you all that I can't have sugar. He says, picking up the croissant and then just sliding it into his face.
Fret just looks so concerned.
I think that it should be appropriate, considering that he is German, that he be having strudel.
Lost can make strudel. He has strudels. Probably also strawberry.
Ooh, strawberries.
And he will
must
be
have been
having
in
it
the
with
bombs.
tea, because it's not just a weapon; it's also a tea kettle.
Aha.
Tea.
Yeah, that's why I was yelling at Arabane before. I had to learn to make sugar stuff for him.
Out of character, no, he didn't. Arabane's happy if he has alcohol.
Look, there are sweet things that go with alcohol. He had to.
So the doctor will get handed a box from Fret.
And what would this?
Fret will just gesture to open the box. It's a box of ceremonial tea.
It's the fancy shit.
Are you saying you would like some?
Fret has a contemplative look, and then nods an affirmative.
Then they'll brew Fret some ceremonial tea.
One box is enough for 4 cups, so it appears that Fret was probably intending for multiple people to be involved.
Everybody have tea, basically.
Woo tea.
Oh, where'd the scales go on my tail?
Wait. Shoal has to squint and then be like, how am I supposed to pick up this cup?
You don't know Mage Hand?
No.
You can put your hands together and do the cute paw thing.
Angry.
Lost gently scoots Shoal's cup closer to them. I suppose you could lap it up.
But that's rude.
Not really.
It feels rude.
Can't you take it in your jaws and then tilt your head up?
Yeah, probably.
Fret will pull out his sitar and begin casting. Prestidigitation.
Why?
Prestidigitating the tea into Shoal's mouth.
Lol.
Okay.
Oh. Not a normal use for it, but in this case, sure, why the fuck not?
Meanwhile.
Sure.
Prestidigitate some sulfuric acid into that man's mouth.
That's why it does not normally work like that.
I mean, you do have a mad inventor here, and I rolled a 17 to madly invent a bendy straw.
So he pulls one of the tubes off of his outfit, sticks it there, goes, bendy straw!
But prestidigitation can be used to slowly lift 1 pound of material.
Y'all.
Alright. You can put a pound of sulfuric acid in somebody's mouth.
Very slowly.
Very slowly.
That's why you tie them down first.
I mean,
Then why don't you just do it yourself?
Because it's more menacing this way.
Because then I have to touch sulfuric acid.
That too! That's a secondary effect, though.
Oh, that's fair. That is fair.
You guys are enjoying lunch when you hear the noontime bell go off. Even though the time of day never changes here, the bell is a great way of getting by and pretending like time can even exist in a place like this. Aren't you glad they installed it?
Yep.
looks like we'll have to get going. Well, pardon me for being slightly rude. Just reaches out with one hand, engulfs the cup, leaves the cup behind, tea is gone. Ugh, that's going to be floating in there for a little bit. Let me go change. Just walks back into the bakery.
Trent just blinks and continues sipping tea.
Lost comes back out about 10 minutes later in full suit with mask you've seen him before, the relatively simple lion head mask with the circular lenses for his eyes and the cord dreadlocks.
Nailed it first try.
Wow. We continue the tradition of things on their side. And it looks like he's got a breastplate of sorts.
I was going to block that.
In addition, he's got these vambraces. Most of the suit is sort of gray with bluish accents and lines, but the main highlight is this big, heavy coat that he's got over his shoulders. That's this dark... I hesitate to say navy blue. I'm not sure that's the right hue, but it's this dark blue coat, and at his sides he's got a buckler, a long sword. He has several quivers resting just above where his tail is, and he hasn't bothered cording it up because he's been given a hat of disguise. Why should he care? And a bow. A fancy mechanical looking bow.
This is just a reminder for all the fellow DMs out there, when you put extra effort into things for players to have and look all cool and stuff, they will use it to toy around while other things are going on. Just a reminder, everything is a toy to the player. Don't give your players toys.
Give your
No!
players all the toys.
He brings all the toys to the yard and he's like, damn right, they're better than yours, damn right. Okay, enough of that.
Right.
Because players are 2-year-olds. I would know. I am also a player sometimes.
Look,
Nailed it.
fidgeting with things is fun.
Nailed it.
I'm assuming where you guys are leaving it. Okay, I'll lock that. Sure. Here, locked. I'm assuming y'all are letting Brett lead the party here.
Sure. Question mark.
The coins and the...
Because
Yes.
I'm the guide.
He is the guy.
So I'm not great at guiding, but I'm better than like someone who's not a guide, I guess.
That
I've
depends.
got 4
As long as you
ranks.
don't want to be the guide, then I hear apples fall upwards at you.
That depends on whether or not you want to actually roll it or you just want me to get you to the office.
I mean, whichever one you prefer.
I'm leaving this choice to the player.
I mean, sure, let's roll it. Profession navigation.
I.
No, Fred's fucking lost.
He's not lost. You can't be lost. But Fretz has decided that apparently it is taking you guys longer to get there than it normally would. From your position in the city.
Man, this is a long ass trip.
You guys are walking, you're going down side streets. Fret keeps on writing out, "Don't worry, I know a shortcut will be there soon."
But yeah, that was a 9 total.
Not a complete failure. You didn't roll stupidly low. And you guys finally get to the main office. From here, you see the backside of the castle, and you do know that this building is particularly extra fancy because, well, bureaucrats. As you walk in, it goes from being a very tall, super big, important-looking building to it's an office. Like, it's not even multiple stories in here. It is just an office. You see a couple people milling about. They seem to be handling paperwork. You see the main entry desk with what can only be described as what a human would be if they were once human, but definitely no longer human. They're something human adjacent, but they just have that slightly wrong colored skin. Their eyes aren't quite in the right position.
Oh, I remember reading about there's actually legit a Pathfinder race. That's what you're talking about.
Mm-hmm. I don't remember what they're called off the top of my head,
Me
unfortunately.
neither. Me neither.
But they look up and they smile at you and they say, "Welcome to the Recallers front office. How may I be of assistance today?"
What's it called? Shoal is just gonna pull out his temporary badge. We were told to be here today.
Ah, fantastic. Door to the left. Go ahead and press the badge to the door. It should unlock. You guys should be able to go down a hallway, and you'll see another door to the left with Arnold's name on it.
Okay. Thank you.
Yep.
And Shoal's gonna go push the badge. There's currently in his mouth, partially in his mouth, to the door, and then make his way down.
Yep. You hear a comical little boop sound when you press the badge to the door. The lights above it turn green, and each person has to do it individually. The door does not let you guys through in bulk.
Okay.
Lovely security. As you guys get down to the hallway, there is indeed a door marked with Arnold. God damn it, I'm forgetting my NPC's last names. Unthime's name emblazoned upon it. It looks like it was a personal gift. You can tell this because it does indeed have a bureaucrat's name in the lower corner, signifying he had it made for him. How wonderful. Gotta love this district. It's so warm here all the time due to all the hot air.
Well, Shoal's gonna knock on the door once we're all there.
Imagine having an eternal afterlife and choosing to be a bureaucrat in it.
Some people like doing it. It makes them feel important, like they're doing something for society.
They're not.
How many of them are Jamaican?
I don't know how to answer that question.
Wait, what?
Literally do not know how to answer that. He's not here. No, we're not. Nope. Mm-mm. You know, I thought about it, but I didn't want to do a Jamaican accent an entire session because you guys would make me.
Yes.
You guys knock on the door and a gruff voice answers in response. "Who is it?"
The Joel Brinecoat and the rest of the Fragment Not Found party?
Yeah. Hold on. Deal with that.
Telling me that you're not, though, is just, Jamaican me want you to do it.
Jamaican not happening. Just, alright, guys, you can come in. We're good.
And open the door. They go.
Yep, so let me go ahead and get a couple of images. Inside you see an Ursine-style humanoid-like creature, who has a little bit of a tail, more than you expect a bear to, as well as goat-like horns. He is sitting behind the desk, and next to him is... Copy image. I said copy image. Oh, I need copy image link. Copy link. We'll go ahead and we'll hit done. By the way, the reason why I didn't just purchase these instead of just taking a screenshot is because my electric's out. Damn it. Costs money. There we go.
Also, remember it's the last day of September, so if you want to help Era pay the electric bills.
Gonna be like $2,000.
Oof.
The Ursine guy is dressed very well in very good-looking armor that looks a little bit more prestigious than he seems to be happy with, while his sword looks worn at his side. He is definitely carrying a banner on his back as well as a shield. He has this look in his eye that says, "Get the fuck in," and I'm already done with this situation. While the canine-like gentleman beside him has an eerily creepy and wide smile, yet looks friendly, but it's unsettling that he looks friendly. Especially since he has absolutely no weapons on him. The bear is is closer to about 8 feet tall, while the other creature is probably 5.5 feet tall or the like. The bear-like creature goes, "I am," because I lose my ability to do voices and remember names. "My name's Arnold. You can call me whatever the hell you want as long as it is not Arnie. And we have paperwork to do. I believe this is everybody, correct?"
Correct.
Brett nods.
Fantastic. In which case, let's go ahead and get through the nitty-gritty of things. He will go ahead, and I'm going to pull up my things, set out a bunch of paperwork, and he'll be like, one of you is... I saw it on both, last or lost. Do you have a preference?
Either or is fine. In my language, there's a word that conflates the two.
Well, last, you're a business owner, right?
I own a bakery in... Shit, I forgot the name of the district. Yes, I own a bakery. Echoes Kindness.
Good. Important question. Are you on the registry for the whole being robbed thing and dealing with the crime and all that other stuff?
I am not. I would much rather not deal with that if possible.
Oh, good. Less paperwork. Thank you for the sub, Vari. All right, so we got a couple pieces of paper here. He pulls it out. A bunch of things. So this one's the understanding of chance of possible permanent erasure. This one is the list of places that can... Or nope, we don't need this one. This is a request for official documentation, so that way you're registered within the bureaucracy. This one is your badge information. Any information you want on it can be included. This one is a promise to act with integrity. This one is a responsible use for the card that you may receive after finishing your introductory period. This is the application for the card as a group. Don't worry about it. It's just paperwork that they make us do to give you one. You will get it as long as you pass the initial stuffs. Make sense?
Sure.
Fantastic. Just sign. We'll get past this, I promise. While you guys are working on paperwork, do you have any initial questions before I go into some of the actual important information that I actually get to go over with you all?
Not currently.
I do
No.
not.
Brett will raise a finger like he's going to say something, but of course doesn't say anything.
Right, mute. Got it. Snaps his fingers. The other guy is still standing there, smiling. He will offer to take your paperwork as you guys finish signing it. There's something creepy about his smile. Hey, Key, you've been here the longest. Want to roll a wisdom roll?
Oh, yay! If only my wisdom were higher, but I'm not a cleric.
Well, let's see if you happen to know him. Does anybody else have knowledge nobility? I guess technically our doctor could roll.
I mean, I have knowledge nobility, but I have no ranks in it.
Well, unfortunately, you don't recognize this guy.
Nope.
Nope and nope. Holy... Vari!
I've already rolled a 20.
No, he just
No.
rolled a bunch of, or he just gifted me 10 subs. So we're gonna be hearing that on stream for a while. And one to the Cobot Bottler. Got it. Damn it, Vari.
Oh, well, it doesn't
No, I'm saying
discriminate when you gift random subs.
no. I mean, damn it, Vari. You're not supposed to be giving a bunch of subs and giving me money. Anybody is free to go ahead and roll a wisdom. Wow, I'm actually not
Yeah.
surprised that he would know who this is. If
So,
anybody wants to roll a wisdom, they can, including Cat Shark.
I'll give it a shot.
Yeah, you can't do worse than
So,
the other two.
15. 15.
5.
Nope, nobody in the party knows who that is. Cool. We'll leave that for
With a-
later.
With a 15, that wasn't enough.
Unfortunately, no.
Okay.
Not a flat roll.
Yeah, Fret doesn't have a bonus to wisdom, so
Yep, it's fine. And you're not high enough level to have Jack of all trades, I think, or knowledge. Bardic knowledge? Bardic knowledge.
Even a rank in knowledge nobility would not have saved me from that natural one.
Nope. But it happens. He goes, all right, once you guys get all the paperwork done, he looks up at the other one. He goes, all right, that one, go ahead and take these off. Do you want to stay in here, or are you going to get bored and think about murder? That one says, I'll probably think about murder, so I'll be off busying myself. And he goes, okay, have fun.
Last looks at strange wolf creature, looks back at Captain Arnold. Should I be concerned?
About that one? Nah. He's my second in command for good reason. If I ever go down, we need somebody methodical and very deadly to take over. And that one's got some, he has the hunger,
Oh,
the violence hunger. So he, spends most of his days thinking of how to kill people, best ways of killing people, best ways of mass killing people, and stuff like that. So he'll be great if, we ever have a major issue here, and I die.
I see.
Don't worry, he won't stay in power forever. Even he agrees that he's too insane to be trying to control any group for longer than 30 seconds.
I'm
Very
just wondering how as a guard I never heard about him.
Same here, actually. But I digress. Let's deal with the actual stuff. All right, now that paperwork's out of the way and the bureaucrats are going to be happy and not on my ass for the rest of the day, let's go ahead and start talking about actual stuff. So he pulls out some books and he sets them on the desk and he goes, all right, so first we got a basic survival guide that should be able to aid you guys in foreign planets. It is a work in progress. It will be updated probably in another, time doesn't exist here, some amount of time. Now, this one here is how to handle a lost soul. It's as good as we can get. We understand that you guys have been through it, but everybody, there have been problems. Let's just put it that way. Some of them have been basically needed to be dragged here kicking and screaming. We don't recommend that route, but do what you have to. This one is how to report expenses, because you guys will get a card that will go ahead and handle basic expenses and what you can and cannot use for the card for. This is after your trading period. And this one is the GTFO guide. Unofficial, don't let the bureaucrats know about it. Shit gets bad in the sphere you're in. This is what you do. This is how you get rejected. Make sense?
I do it
Sounds
nuts.
good.
Fantastic. Next, these are pamphlets. You guys can take as many as you want in any particular mission. These are So You're a Lost Soul pamphlets. They only work when they're outside of the sphere, so when they're traveling with you, but they will translate into whatever language they need to understand, so that way they understand what the hell's going on, because, once again, kicking and screaming, not a great look on anybody. Questions, comments, concerns?
None so far.
Fantastic. Next step, I get to explain time and how it works, because you guys are going to where time exists from a place where time doesn't exist. I believe one of you is a guide here, yes?
Minuet raises, Fret raises his hand.
Perfect. Do you know how long or how you are only gone as long as you think you should be gone when you're doing your thing?
Fret nods.
He goes, congratulations, same thing here. Time progresses in there, and it's weird because guess what? Time is not even across the universe out there. You're going to go through periods where time moves fast and where time moves slow. Since you guys are doing vast travels, you're going to notice it more notably. While you're in there, out here, as much time passes as you feel has passed since you've left. So if you go on an incredibly short mission, but it feels like it was years, it will take you years. If it took years, but it felt like days, it'll take you days. So keep this in your mind. And he points at Fred and goes, let that one decide how long you're gone. We're still waiting for a couple of people. It's annoying, because we know they're alive. Make sense?
Fret nuts.
As much sense as temporal mechanics ever makes.
Yeah, welcome to Land Without Time. The rate, other than that being a terrible movie that I wish never ended up in this city, and me learning what a TV is. Do you guys understand the mechanics of a broken soul yet?
I out of character, no.
It's like, I planned this. Perfect, he says as he slaps his hands together. Broken souls are a common thing. Very common, extremely common. Mortal souls are fragile. Your souls are fragile. You just happen to have the whole I'm not connected to the everything, so problems happen when your soul breaks. Not too big of a deal for you guys, because you, most of the case, will get kicked out of a sphere. There are certain dangers you have to worry about, but we're not going to talk about them yet, because you shouldn't be in a situation as a trainee that ever puts you in a situation like that. However, you will find broken souls out there. They're only dangerous if too much of them is missing. Going through the cycle tends to repair them to a certain degree, and put together the broken pieces. Now, as you know, the Koth are made, or at least those that aren't naturally born, are indeed made of broken souls. So your leader, Last, he motions to Last, will be the one that does need to make the final call in situations where you find broken souls. You will find them, you will be able to see them, but tread carefully, because, well, sometimes you don't always find the last few pieces and turns out that they were perfectly fine. Sometimes you think it's all there and they're just doomed to come back in the next cycle as a monster. If you're wondering why broken souls are bad, have you ever met a psychopath or, an Alep or, just bad monsters that seem to exist and nobody knows why?
Yeah.
Well, unfortunately, when a soul's broken and pieces are missing and they go to reform and they come back as supposed to come back as, but they don't. They come back as some misconstrued monstrosity that tends to cause problems if left in the cycle. The good news is that the Koth can bring them back and make them people again. The downside is that is a judgment call you're going to have to make anytime you see a lot of broken souls. You could be breaking the cycle yourselves. Hard stuff.
We can only make as good a decision as we can with what information we have.
Yep. Unfortunately, that is the darker side of our job, is while we try to deal with creatures and stuff that will cause us, we may unintentionally cause us anyways. The only way to know is to beat him to a cough. Once broken, never returned. You know all the yada yada blah. You guys have been through that section of things. Any questions?
I don't think so. What about the rest of
Fret shrugs.
What should we expect for our first mission?
Good question. You guys are in the training rank. And just to explain ranks to you really quickly so we can get it out of the way, there is the training rank D, C, B, A, S, and S+. You guys will start off with training and move into D after 2, maybe 3 missions, and then I'm going to assign you one personally that will go ahead and improve your ability to continue on in this path. Your first few missions are hand selected, and we'll go over them after you've chosen your companion that will move you about and be the hopefully exit plan, unless something unfortunate happens. That should be relatively safe. In these missions, you're either going to be questing to grab a food item or item from somebody's home planet, which we do have one, I believe, on the list. I'm not going to look at it now. We got other things to do. In some other cases, it's just exploring and getting initial assumptions and making some choices. Basic choices. I don't really want you guys confronting anything right away, but I can't control you once you're on the field, right? Right, cool.
Fred just smirks.
Now, if you guys get yourselves killed, that's on my ass, so don't get yourselves killed. Please feel free to run. Running is valid. Running is a good idea. Run, 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 because if I have to send that one after you, I'm going to be even more trouble. And I will send that one after you. Just saying. Questions, comments, concerns? Fantastic. You guys are easy. You guys might just get promoted early just because I don't have to talk.
Oh, I'm sure we'll find a way
Brett
to
just-
mess up.
Fred looks offended.
All right. All right, so let's go over the basics of how the Koth assists you. Koth is going to be your primary means of transportation. They will drag you through the Shadow Realm. If you're in a situation where you feel like it, you can go ahead and go through the Ethereal. He can get you in there, but he cannot travel as fast as he can in the Shadow, so just bear in mind that you guys are in control there. Now, just as a warning, the way that the Koth have to travel through the in-between and everything else through the Shadow, even though it's everywhere, is jarring because you're basically going to be bouncing off of spheres like a ping pong ball as long as you're holding on to them. Your first few jumps, you may throw up. I did. Everybody has. You don't think you can throw up, but you can. Trust me. You are capable of throwing up. Here in a bit, we're going to go ahead and choose your home base, and then we'll go out and look at Koth. But the way they travel is you put your hand on them. If they know their destination, it is going to be very easy. It's just going to be bouncing off of spheres, in and out, in and out, in and out until you get there. And then wherever you drop out is where you drop out. You may, if you're lucky, end up on the outside. If they run out of energy, you might have to camp out in the Shadow. The wonderful thing about the Shadow is that there are creatures out there. There's tons and tons and tons of them. Most of them will avoid you or just be curious and can't actually hurt you thanks to whom we belong to, technically, or whose head we're in, or however the fuck you want to word that nonsense. It's a bunch of crap, whatever. Some of them may fuck with you. If they fuck with you, fuck back. It's fine. Just don't die, because, Fred?
Fred eye waggles. Fred
No.
eye waggles.
He goes, not like that, please. Put a leash in that one. Look, just bear aware
That's
that
why
in the
he's the animal
Shadow...
companion.
Just be aware that both in the Shadow and the Ethereal, things can erase you. When you're in a sphere, you're safe. When you're not, it is dangerous. Understood?
Understood.
Fantastic. Let's go ahead and talk about your home base then. It looks like, from what I have seen, you guys are all over the place as far as living. We could make it easy, put in the crawlable crossroads for where your main office is. The wharfs, if you really want to deal with sailors and harsher crowd. Do you guys have any preferences, recommendations? You guys can also move.
Shoal will just kind of look back at the others and raise an eyebrow.
Wherever I have access to ample supplies is good enough for me.
Hydrating.
Fret will scroll down on his chalkboard. The wharf does have good supply access.
Just bear in mind that's where the sailors hang out. They always choose the dwarves or the wharfs when they've been seafaring folk or ocean beings. And boy, that particular location does get very rowdy.
Joel just kind of tilts his head and goes, "It doesn't seem any rowdier than normal to me."
Says the person that lives there.
Says the person that lived in a giant ocean.
Oh darn, I left the notepad at home that has how many times I've had to make tickets in the wharves. Squints at Shoal.
It is your choice. You guys do have to choose a place to have your main office. This is where your guys are going to be picking up your missions from specifically, as well as your local assistants.
I mean, Shoal is of course partial to the dwarves, but you know he's not party leader, so has his vote on that, and it's up to everyone.
I mean, it has ample access to supplies, and I mean, sure, he might have to electrocute a few people if they get too rowdy, but that's just a day in the life of a not mad scientist.
Hey, Key. I think this call ends up falling in your lap.
Oh great. Oh no, poor Lost. Already he has to make decisions.
That's what happens when you're the party leader.
Anxiety rising. It's fine, really, though. I already live at Sunset. It's near enough to the wharves. I don't see why we can't have a home base there.
You said where?
The
The
wharves.
wharves.
Ah, okay. The wharves it is. Ah, all right. You're going to be that kind.
Look, they already know me there. It's fine.
All right. Let's go ahead and go there now. He stands up. I will take you to the main office, and we'll go ahead and meet the captain there. Once we go ahead and meet the captain, we're going to go ahead and go over our available pool of coughs. And you're going to meet them, talk with them, do what you want, and choose one to go with you at least initially. Then we'll look over missions, maybe. Sound good?
Sounds good.
Fantastic. I need out of this office, otherwise I'm going to scream. In the meantime, we've been going... No, it's not the time I thought it was. I'm still going to go and take my medication a little bit early, if you guys don't mind. Since this is a natural break point.
So
Yeah.
become
Well,
medicate.
Fret will write on his chalkboard, same.
Yes, please. I'm trying to process the rapid fire information.
Short break, go.
And I have shit posted a shit post.
Oh no, shit posts.
You're made of shit post.
Wow, I'm upset.
Let me see. Let's see what type of upset this is.
Here, I'm gonna go
hold
ahead
on.
and
Pulling it up.
I'm gonna share it with other discords.
That is a hard oof. You
Okay,
can't
it
ever
is-
unsee it either.
Yep. Yep. So that
So,
is
Chad,
shared
how are you
with the-
doing today?
Angry.
What is causing the anger?
the shitpost probably.
Oh,
Yes. Also, just so much fucking information.
Yep.
That like 3 full pages.
funny thing is, on the list of people that Dr. Volt knew from his homeworld, a scientist who worked with automaton made a point of seeking important documents, and he could turn himself into a flaming skeleton and back again. Most people can only do that once. Shame he was so allergic to bees.
What?
If that was a joke, it went over my head really hard.
Well, you see, Nicolas Cage was in a FNAF knockoff movie, was Ghost Rider, stole the Declaration of Independence, and screamed about not the bees.
Ah.
Okay, let's see if you guys get this one.
Uh-oh. Uh-oh.
Oh.
A scientist who could adapt almost anything from the environment into armor or weaponry. I'd be very impressed with her work, if it weren't for its fragility. Every other's day it would break and she'd be back to square one all over again.
You had no clue on that one.
Maybe if I put in something about hunting pirates.
I can't brain this.
Yeah,
Samus.
my brain is potato at the moment. I'm sorry.
Samus.
Oh. Yeah.
God damn it.
Wow.
Okay. This one should be pretty obvious. A rather rotund scientist who was a genius at creating automatons. Shame they were always too slow. Perhaps if he hadn't designed them after poultry or burrowing rodents, or maybe he had
Oh, that
chosen a
one's
power
easy.
source other than small animals, they would have been adequate.
I was in the other room screaming Samus, and I don't think you guys heard me.
Nope.
Like, I don't have the brain power.
So you guys figured out which one that one is, right?
Robotnik.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, of course.
Stop making me feel old. So you guys are taking, and by the way, Key, you don't necessarily have to grab all this information. I have footnotes for adding to the document.
Okay, I got as much as I could.
I know. The sun is down, by the way, so folks, if my face tracking stops working, it's because I'm sitting in a literal dark office only lit by my computer. And yet it seems to be working better, and that scares me. What the fuck? Okay. I'm gonna have to sit in a goddamn dark office for the rest of my life.
Yes.
Fuck.
In the darkness with you.
I mean, I am a Shadow Durgan, I guess I'll deal with it. One way or another, you guys get to the wharves, where they do actually go ahead and get a boat to take you to where you guys are going. When you guys get there, it can only be described as, well, it looks like a sailor's club. Surprise.
Of course.
Well, it does have the emblem of the Recallers on it. The moment you guys walk in, you hear a sudden and very inconspicuous silence as people set each other down and go to their chairs. The guy
Was there a
behind...
bar fight?
There was a bar fight going. There's almost always a bar fight going on here because they're doing it for fun. You guys...
Soul's just going to squint. Why wasn't I invited?
One of the sailors goes, "You weren't around. We tried to invite you." Then they clear their, or you hear their cleared throat, and everybody shuts the fuck up. You guys go up to the tavern keeper, who looks like a proper anthro shark, not a quadruped like our local friend, who has a very disgusting scar that seems to start at the top of his head, go over his eye, down his lip, down his throat, and all the way down. Shoal may or may not know he got this from the time he was unraveled, because he was also physically unraveled at the same time and decided that the scar was too cool to lose.
That's fair.
And he goes, "And this one, well, he likes Tooth, so we're going to go with Tooth. Tooth here is going to be your commander. This is the one that you go to whenever you want a mission. The mission board is over there." He points at the board, which you guys can't use yet. You have to come to me, because bureaucrats. Yay.
Woo.
Fun times. Either rate, this is where you guys will meet. That's your board. That's where you go. And Tooth, do you want to say anything? Tooth just gives the finger.
Which one is Tooth?
Tooth is your the shark guy behind the counter. He is the one that you're going to go to, the one with the giant scar.
Ah,
Are you
okay.
sure? Are you sure he isn't named Jonathan Jones?
Or Bruce?
Look, his real name's Jonathan. Just don't call him that. He absolutely hates that name. You call that to him and you get eaten, that is your own damn fault. His last name isn't Jones, though. I don't know what it is. He has never said.
Oh, it could be Jones.
The
That or
shark is giving
Joestar.
2 fingers now.
I mean, it's either Jones or Joestar, so...
Either rate, that's done. Hey, hey.
That's not true. There is another sea-related John that we cannot discount. His last name could be Depp.
Are we sure he's not John Juco?
I'm so sorry that I started this.
It's okay, the captain's more than happy to stand there. He's not in his office right now. He goes, "Hey Tooth, give me the list of cough." And Tooth rolls his eyes. He goes, "You can talk." And he shakes his head no, as if he's just being contrary to be contrary for some reason right now. And he goes, "Yep. Yeah, that's him."
Fret will just silently walk over and stand next to the guy while he's not talking.
He assumes that proper stand-up position, puts his hands behind his back and stares until Arnold obviously looks like he's about to reach over the corner, and then goes to grab the current list of cough. He will gladly hand it over, and he goes, "All right. They're this way." And he starts walking.
Walking.
You guys are walking for a bit before Arnold seems to get irritated and eventually calls for a wagon to be pulled. You guys get taken over to Cobalt Crossings. Wow, today is long.
Question: how many kobolds are in Cobalt Crossing?
Cobalt is the material, not the creature.
Yes, I'm wondering how many kobolds are there.
Oh, okay.
A handful. You know that they're there because you can hear them scream, but you can never find them.
But
Yep.
they sound so tasty.
Yep. 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 Yep.
Yep.
And I know Draconic, so I can understand basically half of what they're saying.
By the way, for those viewing, Yip Yap is an actual language in my setting, homebrew. It is the language of kobolds. It is like Draconic, as if it was spoken in the South with a British accent and they knew half French.
Oh, so
Meanwhile,
New Orleans,
Meep
got
Morp
it.
is just what I say when I don't know what to say.
Meep. Like Louisiana meets Alabama.
Ew.
I mean,
Wait, isn't that just
Also
Canada?
rude.
Is that just...
No.
I know a few people who may disagree with you, Vari.
So do I, and they live in Canada. That's why I said that.
Only half the people I know that would disagree live in Canada. Ah, shit, I forgot to grab another... It's fine, I don't need more drink right now.
But it was funny, and that was the that was the whole point.
Oh, Canada, the drugs are cheaper than ours are. Shout out to Foamy. In the meantime, you guys make it to Cobalt Crossing, where you guys find a small settlement that seems a little bit out of place. As Arnold walks in, one of the Koff that is guarding this particular area goes ahead and runs off. He seems to be older because he definitely has the branches and the leaves. And you guys end up at a little, what looks like training station, where they have the little dummies and everything, and there stand... Let me see how many I actually
here.
wrote up.
You might want to go, well, because last time we actually talked about the cough, I think, was during one shot or something. So it might be a thing to go back over for the audience.
Go for it, Key.
So, their appearance is inspired by random art that I found of
Ooh,
somebody's. Yeah, it's this guy's just character. It's called the Resonator. But they're these sinuous, shadowy, kind of dragon-shaped tree critters, kind of. They aren't quite trees, they aren't quite shadow monsters, they aren't quite dragons. They are Koff, which is actually an acronym which stands for Children of the Forgotten Forest. And they've been around for a while because, Arabane's siblings could not leave him alone. No lonely.
I don't know how to pronounce this name, so I'm just going to type it out in chat here really quickly. Give me a second, because I have their blue sky.
Yes.
BSKY dot SOCIL. That's them. Obsequious. I don't know how to pronounce that. Is their creator, the base that we base these off of. Go ahead, Key.
I think that's about it. They're these sinuous, twisty dragon critters that are bandaged up in places because, well, they're made from broken souls, and they were originally made using wood from soul-consuming trees. Also, that word is obsequious.
I had no idea how to pronounce it.
I'm surprised I remember how. And, little Koff start off as these noodly little shadow dragon tree things. And as they get older, they get branches and leaves and grow and can become quite titanic in size.
Here, I'll
So-
share one of the base arts. Now, I believe there's a description in the Truchiad chat that I might read off.
So we're getting some sort of noodly dragon critter to travel around with us. Can we get one that cooks?
Excuse you?
I
Cannot find the Truchiad chat.
I don't want to. Oh, okay, just to be clear, I want one who is able to cook.
I know. I'm feigned outrage. I promise you, I'm not actually mad. And I also know that wasn't in character.
Yeah, it was entirely a joke about are we getting a new dat?
Yeah, no, I hope not.
Ouch. Let me see.
I love dat, but I want someone that isn't dat.
Perhaps
Also,
talks about ancient Koff secrets.
Here we go. So, children of the Forgotten Forest bear a passing resemblance to a black-scaled drakes at a distance, but drawing closer reveals that is where the resemblance ends. Rather, they they are creatures seemingly made of wood stained by shadow, wrapped in places by shimmering cloth bandages. Their shape resembles drakes or dragons with tails that extend twice the length of the rest of their body or more. Some portions of their bodies branch off, growing as they resemble wings or horns, though the branching may also occur in other places. Especially old specimens even grow dark foliage that casts an extraplanar shadow, which serves to nourish their young kin. When hiding, children of the Forgotten Forest will lift themselves up on their tails or hunker down with their tails raised to resemble dark trees. As a side note, the children have prosperity? I don't know that word.
Propensity.
For illusion shadow magic, and while not normally aggressive, their mischief may be unintentionally dangerous. Children of the Forgotten Forest, otherwise known as Koth, with class levels will often become sorcerers, bards, and have strong dislikes for demons, devils, clergy, or other elementals, particularly genies and fae.
Yep, and as an important note, the art currently on the screen for Era's stream, that belongs to Obsequious. It is not ours. It is just something that we used as a... It wasn't even this art. It was a much different art that was...
Yeah, we use it as a base. It is... Go find him on Blue Sky. I don't know if you can find him on Twitter, because fuck Twitter. If you need Blue Sky access, go ahead and join my Discord channel, because guess what? Over my Discord channel, I have 2 free codes right now, and I will get you on.
Yep, we used it as a visual reference for Thing.
I literally told them, though, recently that I did base a race off them in my Pathfinder games, so hey, somebody want to clip that? I will send it to them. And hope that they're okay with it. Oh, well, if they're not.
It is okay. The Koth are their own thing. I know absolutely nothing about the Resonator. They just look really cool.
They do. That's a really cool creature. It really is. I took the image off the screen. I'm going to actually get my drink because I'm an idiot. Power everything. And have my cat try to jump scare me. So, as a side note, just to put this out there, my cat likes to do this thing where he hides around a corner and he does that open arm flail thing where he jumps up and puts all of his arms and legs out at me to try and surprise me.
Oh, little baby.
And he just did that because he tries to scare me. He was getting my roommate, but my roommate got really pissed off one day and brought the bottle with him. So when he popped out, he sprayed him right away, and he hasn't bothered my roommate since.
Oh no.
Well, he was getting him on the stairs, so I understand why my roommate might be a little pissed off being jump scared on the stairs.
Cat tried to kill him.
It doesn't scare him anymore, and I think he's getting upset that he can't spook me anymore.
Oh,
Because I'm just like, oh look,
baby.
there's the cat. My baby. One of my children.
Kitten does literally anything. Tiger go, oh, little baby.
So it looks like you guys got a list of 6. As you guys walk up, they go, all right, there's 6 of them. They will introduce themselves as they wish. I don't even know if they have names yet. Go for it. You have 6 there.
There are just 6 of them.
Yep, they're
in the
lined
training
up.
ground. Ah,
They have lined up for you. Because the older cop has told them to. Which one do you want to approach first? Looks like there is 6 currently. Being Koth, I am not going to give them each... Well, let me see if there's... Nope, I'm going to let you approach them as you wish.
who wants to do the approaching, or does the leader have to do it?
Fret will scribble on his chalkboard, do it, and like just gesture at Smoke Lion with frickin' his chalkboard like vehemently.
That I'm going to have to get used to this, aren't I?
You are the leader. He pats you on the back the rough way, and then gives you that half shove forward.
Stumbles forward a few feet, grumbles. Doesn't even bother dusting themselves off as they go to the leftmost cough first.
Leftmost cough it is. As you approach, he gives a grand bow and says, I indeed do not have a name yet. I was hoping to earn my name. I was a loyal paladin serving my god. In the last fight, my god forsook me in order to ensure that I would die as a martyr for their cause. I was shattered in the entourage and left to rot. In service to our Savior and King, I shall offer protection to you in your journeys, should you choose me. And he gives you a very grand bow.
Thank you.
You're welcome.
Lost awkwardly shuffles to the next one because he's going to go through all of them.
Of course he will. This one, let me make sure. This one seems a little bit more casual as he sits, and he says, I was this forger for my small village. One day I was given the honor of being sacrificed to our god. Well, turns out our god was an elder being who was shattering souls and eating the best parts he does in the quotations. Did nothing to aid our protection or people. Yeah, I could provide, sustenance with my knowledge and one of possible hazard or plant life in your journey. I can make sure you don't starve.
To be
Fred does
fair,
the nodding and like gesturing at this one kind of affirmatively.
I can't exactly bake out there. Even though I brought an entire mess kit. It's hard to tell, but like his eyes are this sort of grumpy, half-lidded thing behind the lenses.
You
I
moving
was
on?
saying, yes. Moving on. Sorry.
This one
I
seems
was-
to be wiggling in place as if he cannot sit still. Once you approach, he says, I was a dancer, proud and happy. When invite came to dance with the group for my king, I was surely overjoyed. It turns out he had made a contract with the demon, but in exchange for several souls, the demon would ensure prosperity in our kingdom. The king had chosen citizens he viewed as worthless. A.k.a. me and several others. Needless to say, Needless to say, this choice angered the demon, shattered us and our king, and then ruled the city himself after. Hey, choose me and I'll be boundless entertainment. Look at me, I can wiggle. And inspiration for an epic tale to come, because I'm going to write it all down. All of it, because
Boy.
stories are needed. Stories are great. No, that's not a pun. Considering the whose domain we stand. I take it back. That it was a pun. That was an intentional pun, he points.
Fred will just walk up to this one and offer a hand.
You know that buzzer handshake?
Oh no. Okay, never mind then. Yeah, but I gather yeah. Well, yeah. So that happens.
Bzz.
Fred scribbles on his on his chalkboard. Well, I was going to offer to dance with you,
He
and then
says,
frowny face.
We can still dance. He grabbed your hands anyways, and now you're dancing.
Okay.
Well, with that distraction, as last moves up to the fifth one. Sorry, no, the fourth one.
I was a well-known and published anthropologist. Despite warnings, I went to investigate a civilization that was said to have completely vanished overnight. Reasonable to say I found out why. It vanished, that is. If allowed to, scout ahead, I can aid you or what word did I write here? Interrogating yourselves into the world at hand. Integrating.
Integrating.
Brain. Why could you not? It's so small. All right. He seems posh, well carried.
So,
Yes?
this one was evidently the bad end from La Mulana.
Hadn't thought of that until now, but ouch.
Yep.
Hashtag not my fault. I did not think of that at all.
Having never played La Mulana, I just know oof.
Oof. Here, I'm going to turn on some lights outside of my office and hope some light filters in because it's...
Roblox.oof.
Okay, well, okay. Let me just describe La Mulana to you. Imagine instead of hunting vampires, Simon Belmont decided to be Indiana Jones.
I am aware of the premise of La Mulana's 1 and 2. I know they're super difficult and kind of unfair. So,
Okay, the difficulty of the combat is not anything that's super unfair.
That did
We're not talking like a
help.
Dark Souls thing. What the difficulty in La Mulana comes from is the puzzles.
I
yes.
love the puzzles so much, though.
Of course you
Disc
do.
World. Disc World, Disc World, Disc World. I'm going to turn on this laptop and use it as a light source as well because it has actually gotten pitch black in my room. All right, ready for the next one, or do you have any comments, questions, concerns?
Let's move on to number 5.
He kind of leans and he goes, "I, by some twist of fate, found a book that was never meant to befall mortal hands. Before reading it, I was but a humble, normal person living my life. However, the book enthralled me. I read it over and over again, trying to understand the words, the writing. When I finally understood, it revealed to me a fundamental truth. The truth allowed me to begin to rapidly understand and make sense of nearly everything. The gods of my world were, well, not happy, having a mortal running about with the truth, I know. Once they discovered what knowledge I held, they shattered me and threw me out. To prevent me from sharing this truth to the world? Well, if you choose me, I shall aid with knowledge best I can without endangering you with the truths I now know. What's left of it.
That might be useful.
Hi,
Except we have
everyone. Welcome us having a cognito hazard friend.
You already have one.
You do.
But which one's the cognito hazard?
The truth.
There is one left.
Yep. Let's see what number 6 has for us.
At least the initial statements. You guys can ask additional questions afterwards, of course. I need a... Here, I'm just going to Google the color white. There we go. I apologize. Just trying to get white. White, I say. Oh, for the love of fuck, Google, open the goddamn color white. Thank you. That works. Good enough. The last one seems to be slightly out of place. Unlike the others that have particular postures or semblances of speech or anything else, this one just goes, hey, were you all around a while ago when the Chain Devil decided to try and, balls up to Airbane? You heard about that. The guy that tried to kick him in the nuts before Airbane turned around, or turned that devil into, well, this week's Smashburger special on the street. Yeah, that was me. Yeah, that was stupid. I know. But in life, I was a weak man who never did anything. I never stood up when the darkness came. I never fought back. I just stayed in line and accepted my fate. So when that devil walked down the street, I guess something in me finally snapped. And I don't want to be a weak man any longer, sitting sidelines doing nothing. I can't offer you boons as the other. I am far from unique, but I'll serve you all the best of my abilities. If anybody wishes to roll a wisdom save or wisdom check or something, well, I think actually only Lost can get this one, and possibly Mr. Rolls Everything. Can go ahead and roll
Am I
everything.
rolling a knowledge everything?
Yes.
A chain devil.
I got 17 on the dice.
11.
I do have a point in knowledge planes.
Do you have a rank in knowledge history?
Nope.
No. The 17 will get you. You've heard about
So a total of a 26.
a total of how much?
26.
Yeah, you have definitely heard the stories of the time a chain devil walked down Main Street heading towards the castle, and some stupid ass cop walked up and tried to kick something in the balls that did not have them, and then it just getting pancaked because it was in a world that it had absolutely no control over.
Wait, so the cough attempted to kick the chain devil?
Yes, right in the nuts.
Okay, sorry. The way I understood it was that the chain devil went to go kick Arabane.
No.
Yeah, that is how it sounded
Yeah,
like it was phrased the
that
first
was
time.
my fault because I skipped an entire sentence in that reading.
Oh.
But yes, this particular cough is claiming to be the one that ran up and tried to kick a chain devil in the balls. Do you have any further questions for any of them? You may now ask away. Or do you wish to dismiss any of them to go back to their training?
So, what is it you are capable of? Last is asking the sixth one, since he's currently in front of them.
Base abilities. Things Koth can do. Dip into other spheres and jump around. That's it. Hide in your shadow.
Is he any smaller or larger than any of the others?
He is a little bit larger because he's a little bit older. It looks like he's been here a while.
So, why are you still in training if you've been here this long?
Us Koths usually have special abilities from our previous lives, and since I spent my entire mortal life, as far as I remember it, bearing in mind a lot of it's fractured, sitting and living off my father's wealth and the property I owned, doing literally nothing, even when the armies came and started murdering everybody. I didn't do anything, so I got no special abilities for you. I offer no boons. I just don't want to be that man anymore. So I'm here, and I'm going to continue to be here. Hell, I didn't even get out of my chair when they burst into my door and killed my wife. No wonder they selected me to be unraveled.
And why, pray tell, should we pick you?
Because I'm not that man anymore.
Gestures up and down at the cough. This is an obvious statement.
I can't give you that answer. There is no particular reason why you should choose me. I give you absolutely nothing. I also take nothing from you, if that helps. Any one of them you choose will have some sort of drawback. I'm just what you see.
A drawback. And last, we'll look back at the captain.
The captain goes, everybody has a personality, some shine through.
Ah, I see. So because of your sedentary attitude in life, your personality is subdued. You're unlikely to have a quirk or compulsion that might make things a little more difficult.
Those are words. I didn't finish school.
I feel like I always need to get art of whatever character I'm playing with the concerned finger steeple meme. I really do, because that's kind of what Lost is doing right now. Because it's like, oh, but I have to take care of 3 children already.
You do have other prospects that you can ask. He has been here the longest, but doesn't mean he will never be chosen.
This is true. Right, moving back down the line. Does anybody have any questions for number 5? Number 5 is the knowledge one. They read a book not meant for mortal hands.
Silence.
Right, I guess I'm going to ask the questions.
Yep.
I actually mildly thought that Dr. Volt was going to want to ask this one questions.
Well, you see, I've been sitting here trying to formulate a proper analogy in my head, but it was basically going to be in Dr. Volt's thoughts. Why would you purposely get a square tire when you have a round tire with you already?
So out of character, I want to make the note that I created this document 18 months ago.
Yep, well before the party was solidified.
If you ask him why he would use a square tire instead of a round tire, it's obvious he didn't want the vehicle to roll down the hill. Or technically, there's a parabola that has 4 sides that you can technically call a square, that all 4 sides will evenly be distributed at any point in time and therefore act as a wheel and just look neat.
No, this would be more towards asking the party that.
Oh.
Because they've already got a round tire. Someone who's read a big book of everything and didn't. The universe broke him after he learned this stuff. As far as Dr. Volt is concerned, he broke his universe after reading that.
2 sides of the same coin. Got it.
Something. I became the linchpin upon which all broke.
Wow.
All right.
Gotta move on to the 4th one then, because we already know we're not taking the 5th. They can go back to training. We have somebody from the academics.
They salute you, give a little bit of a bow, and say, I will continue to break things other than me. And off they go.
So, what skills exactly do you bring to the table, being an ex-anthropologist?
Well, if you give me a chance to look ahead, I can study the people if you give me a couple of days, their habits, their speech patterns, their slang, their body actions, as well as how they look, and bring that back to you all. As well as any common pets, he says, looking over at Shoal. Or beasts of burden, if that suits your fancy. I would be able to help you guys disguise yourselves better and integrate with society more flawlessly. Downside being, well, let's just say I can't always walk away from a good find. I may or may not have left a party on their own devices and just stayed in town to study a sociological interesting thing I found.
Did did you not come when they needed you?
Oh, I did. Once I heard them yelling.
The colors in Lost's lenses narrow as he squints.
Look, society is complex and rich. And there's all these intricacies in the way that people interact and their language and everything. I had to study it. It was for the greater good, of course, because I was going to pass that information on to the party. It just so happens that while I was doing further study of a particular case, they wandered off to complete the mission and had a holler
Fret,
for me to pull them out.
Fret will do the rapidly gesturing over to the next cough.
Meanwhile, basically as he's explaining all of these faults, Dr. Volt is just kind of nodding along, in a, yeah, okay, yeah. Where's the part where this doesn't make sense?
And this is why I have to be the leader. Last looks back at the captain again. I'm going to need a leash no matter what one I pick, aren't I?
The captain wavers and that sort of just ask your questions.
I'll take that as a yes.
Whatever.
Goes to the third one, who is probably still doing the wiggle.
Yes, he is.
I believe we do not need to ask this one what eccentricities they bring.
What do you mean? He says, wiggle, 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 wiggle.
Fret just gestures at the next cough.
I'm assuming you're dismissing this one then?
Yeah, we're gonna dismiss this one.
He goes,
That one is complete eccentricities.
yes, he gives you the grandest of bows after standing up on his hind legs and then does the tail stand to be a proper tree and then gives a bow again and then goes back. You can see him literally dancing around a mannequin that he's attacking for the rest of this time you're here. He is a wiggly boy. You are back at number 2.
Right. Well, at least one of my companions seems exceptionally thrilled with the idea of having you along. So, what do you know of botany? And, well, making food that isn't a baked good.
Well, making food wasn't really my job, but I can tell you whether or not a plant is edible or not. Follow a monkey, eat the monkey kind of thing. I can't necessarily cure food either at this point. I can probably make some basic stews if it was requested. Roll perception check the entire party.
Oh boy.
Totally average. 17.
Average is
14.
10. All right. I think your dice got rolled
16.
by Viv again. Oh, 16? What about Viv? Viv!
Viv!
Yes. Sorry. Distracted. I was dealing with something.
Perception.
Roommate needed help with something. Perception? Okay.
Perception.
Oh, I did not expect to get interrupted.
Well, tell the interruption to f off.
I did. I finished.
That's what she said. Nope, Viv isn't gonna catch it.
Perception is. Where'd it go? There it is. 13.
Those that got above 15 are going to start to notice that it has very Aztecian markings along its length. Not noticeable at first glance, but they're fairly prominent along its body.
I'm curious.
Uh-huh.
What happens to be your downside as compared to the others?
Oh, hold still. He hops into your shadow. And your shadow has an Aztecian vibe to it, like somebody drew it. And he goes, I'm an aesthetic choice. I learned that word here. Our people don't have a word for this. We just called it house.
Oh. Looks down at Shadow.
I like it.
That's not exactly subtle.
No, it's not. But watch this. And he makes your shadow dance. Now you know what an Aztecian shadow lion looks like dancing.
Shret looks incredibly pleased.
Same.
I'm not sure how to feel about this just yet. But don't go anywhere.
He pops out and he goes, oh, I know this one. Excuse me, my people were tech level 1. So, sir, yes, sir. And he salutes. I could teach you guys some really cool dances. But they involve taking off clothes, and I'm told that's uncouth. What does uncouth mean? I have no idea.
But
Fred is looking less pleased by this.
Koff don't wear clothes?
We don't, but we can't dance together if you're wearing clothes.
Right. Suddenly, Lost is regretting not having his tail cover. He feels too exposed. Anyway, back to the first one.
Yep, you make your way to the first one. And he puffs out his chest and stands proud and says, questions for me.
You say you offer your loyalty and protection.
Yes.
In what way does this manifest?
Protecting you.
As in a shield?
We can call it that if you really like. What I have found is that if I do this, he hops into your shadow, and you find everybody's shadow will somewhat push up underneath their feet as if to protect them. I can turn this off, of course, to hide, but
Useful. Is there aught else that you are able to tell us about yourself?
I will never allow another soul to get hurt again. Not mine, not anyone's. And shields pop up in front of everybody within the 60-foot radius, similar to the ones you guys have.
Woo.
I see. Unfortunately, I cannot pick you. You and I are too similar.
He will slink out of your shadow, he will give a salute, and he'll say, well met, brother.
Be well.
Don't let the lack of light cloud your judgment.
I know what my pledge is. And speaking of knowing, I think I know what the choice is. Turns to the second cough. As unsubtle as your hiding place may be, there are ways around it. Now tell us, would you like a name? Or is there one you would like to earn for yourself?
My mortal name is dead because my people suck. They sacrificed me to a worthless elder god.
So Fret does kind of just tap Lost on the shoulder,
Hmm?
gestures at the final cough.
No, you guys have all 6.
Yeah, the last cough is the one that he gestures at.
Oh, the 6th? Here, I'm gonna let the party discuss this because I actually need to pee. Roleplay discuss.
Is there a reason that we should pick them?
Fret kind of does the contemplative tilting his head from side to side. Then lets out a long breath. And kind of just makes a deferential gesture. But apparently wanted to make his preference known.
Really? You would prefer them over this one?
Fret nods.
I can admire the spirit of one who would challenge such staggering odds, even if they did not weigh the risks properly beforehand. So my vote lies with the anthropologist.
I'm sorry, Dr. Volt's vote is with one? Which one?
The anthropologist.
Ah,
Well,
That
Shoal,
he was basically saying he does admire the 6th one for kicking a devil in the balls, even if there weren't balls. The attempt to kick a devil in the balls is an admirable thing.
well, what about you, Shoal? Do you have a preference?
Viv.
I'm here. I just went
Okay.
We didn't
Oh,
hear
you
the
didn't mic up.
Hold on. Is that better?
Yeah.
Shoal is looking thoughtful and then just kind of shrugs. I mean, I like the aesthetic one, but that's more because it reminds me of home than anything else.
Well, each have positive and negative reasons, pros and cons, to put it more politely. The aesthetic one, as Shoal puts it, would not be easy to hide within our shadows like the others. But
quite detrimental to a stealth mission, which is one of the reasons why I support the choice of the anthropologist.
indeed, but there are ways to mask your shadow so it's not nearly so obvious. He just sort of lifts an arm, kind of semi gesturing to his cloak. The inside is kind of swirly.
Provided that the fashion of the worlds will permit such a thing.
True,
Shoal is going to interject and go, I don't really have any preferences on which one y'all truly choose to help. Just like I said, the last one aesthetically pleases, reminds me of home. It's not really a vote one way or the other.
My only concern about the anthropologist is their tendency to get absorbed by their work. This means that we may not be able to entirely rely upon them when we need them most, at least not immediately.
Would it help the players if I gave for the 3, their boon and their drawback in plain text?
If the others want that, that's okay. I have a fairly decent idea of what their boons and drawbacks are.
Sure.
Okay.
I assume, like with the anthropologist, his drawback is something like there's a 20% chance he just doesn't show up when we call him.
His boon is, if given time to do some minor scouting, he will add a bonus equal to his rank ×2 on diplomacy, bluff, and disguise checks to fit into a new place. While his drawback is, will almost always press to stay in a location to study it thoroughly. He will always come uncalled, but it's up to a roll to see how long it takes him to get there, because he will not follow you out of towns or cities or other folk. He will basically leave you guys to do your work while he studies.
It's not terrible.
I assume the paladin provides an actual tangible, like, defensive benefit, but downsides include being a paladin and being a paladin and doing paladin thing.
Yes, he offers an AC bonus he offers a bonus to AC and CMD unscripted of his rank ×2, but he has a strong sense of duty and may attempt to protect others unprompted, which means he gets involved.
Which means he is presumably the most hazardous to the mission.
Breaking the rules.
Yep. Effectively, most tangible benefit, but also most visible.
Yes, as in he will get involved and he will involve you guys.
Shoal has Fred. Shoal doesn't need anyone else to involve them in crazy shit.
Yep.
So what of the Aztec aesthetic one?
He's the tribal guide. He can identify plants as safe or not, and the group will always have food because he will gather it for you while you're on the material plane. The downside is the shadow always has unusual tribal shapes aesthetic. So no matter what shadow he hides in while he's accompanying you guys, it will always have a unique property.
But probably the second most.
Oh.
Yes.
These were listed in order of visibility.
The fun fact is I wrote them like this, in this order. The great news about this particular guy is that there is no bonus. He just does it for you, period. If you guys pick up a plant, he will know if it's hazardous to you or not. And you will always have food. AKA, I'm taking that off the shelf. You will always have food because he can get it. He is also capable of getting meat for the carnivore in the party.
Woo.
Mainly because nothing expects their shadow to just grab them.
Nom nom nom.
I mean, Dr. Will definitely would not be opposed to the tribal guide one either. I mean, if he can identify what food is, or what plants are edible, presumably he would also be able to identify plants that could do some fun shit.
Possibly at higher ranks.
And I don't just mean like, the party kind of fun shit. I mean the crazy scientist kind of fun.
The profession herbalist required to gather type fun shit.
yes, I can use this in the thing and make it do the whatever better.
As he ranks up, his herbalism may or may not hit levels of such things. The Lost Anthropologist, he does, or I've already given you that. Your guys already know number 6.
Number
Literally
six.
nothing on both
penalty.
sides.
Yep, he offers absolutely no boon, but no drawback.
Okay, what about the wiggly one?
I gave him the Worthless Dancer. He gives Inspire Courage equal to his rank. He can do this at will. He has trouble
We've
sitting
already-
still and may wiggle and dance in place, which means somebody is going to have a wiggly dancy shadow.
Again, really bad for stealth.
Yeah.
But we've already got Inspire Courage though. So
Yes.
Yep.
They're all effectively classes except the last one, who is the
The commoner.
though an important note though is the commoner he's a entity that actively wants to get better and improve and do things.
I will warn you, he will never offer a boon or a drawback.
Ah.
Ever. He is the guy you take if you want nothing. By the way, since you guys are absolutely knowing number 5, his name is the Auto Addict Cultist. He gives you a bonus to all knowledge skills of his rank times 2, but his drawback is he must touch the thing.
so it's if you
As
don't
dangerous
have
as the paladin. Understood.
if you don't have Avari in the party, it's Avari for the party.
Yes.
So what happens if we
Thanks.
already have a Vari in the party and pick?
Oh.
Here's the problem. Who do you think is faster, the guy that can jump between shadows or Vari? Who do you think you can
I'll
stop?
try.
Who do you
I'll fucking try.
Who do you think you can stop easily?
I could just shine a flashlight on the fucking cough, so... Oh look, there's no shadows there anymore. It's too bright, because I can cast light. Wow.
So, out of character, obviously, but from a roleplay perspective, I do like the commoner. But also, like, given their backstory, as a person, I'm like, I know you're not that person anymore, but
It's absolutely jobless reincarnation.
Yep. Unfortunately, they will never offer a boon or a drawback.
Right.
That is your base. That is your I don't want a drawback solution.
yeah, it's basically the choice for if a group is comfortable with what they have and also don't want a drawback.
It's okay.
Oh.
Somebody will choose him.
Okay, so really we can boil this down into that there are 3 choices who will not immediately blow our cover. And that is the commoner, the herbalist, and the anthropologist.
Yep. Well, the paladin wouldn't, but if he saw something that a paladin would act against, he will act. The Worthless Dancer is always a wiggle, but who looks at shadows. The cultist who needs to touch the thing is my Vari analogy of I'm going to touch the button. That big red button that says do not touch, yeah, he's going to touch it.
So I would like to note that I'd totally be down with the paladin. It sounds like a fun time.
But
Okay, I actually have a question because I don't know this. What is everyone's alignments?
Okay, so Fret is chaotic neutral. Big surprise. Big
Woo.
surprise.
As is Dr. Volt.
I'm pretty sure that our resident cat shark, correct me if I'm wrong, Viv, is probably lawful neutral.
Correct.
oh, good, a lawful buddy. Guess what I am?
Per a given definition of lawful, considering his civilization level.
I'm assuming yours is lawful good.
No,
Yes.
lawful neutral.
Well, yeah, it has to be lawful neutral.
Unfortunately, Key gave up his ability to be good. Well, not technically. You could technically be lawful good right now, but if circumstances dictate, you will give that up immediately. And it is permanent.
Yep. I am effectively lawful neutral, but I am still a goody goody.
Key being the goody two shoes.
Fortunately, he worships the wrong god to be a goody two shoes too long.
Yeah, well, God shouldn't have a tail that long.
Can't help it. I was born this way, dude.
Joking at my own expense.
Yes.
Right. I
And-
like the herbalist, personally. If
Yeah, the
y'all-
not having to worry about food is pretty good, actually.
I know that's basically the choice we pick every single game, and I gave this character profession so he wouldn't have to worry about food. But I like the herbalist.
Bear in mind,
Uh,
he does not cook. He can provide you fruits and vegetables, though. If you guys want to cook, you better learn to cook.
Yay!
I like how, though, I effectively joked about, are we getting a new dat?
Bear in
And
mind,
yet all-
he's not that.
I know.
I was going to say, and all of them are in some form or another dat. Just not all of dat.
This is not
I mean-
that. Thankfully.
I mean, yeah, she'll would be fine with the commoner, the herbalist, or the anthropologist. Although the bonus the anthropologist gets is good, but she'll also really wouldn't like the additional weight.
Yeah, that's his downside. He is going to be off studying. He will come and save you. Bear in mind that these are their skills go off of rank, and they don't rank like you do. Ranks have to actually be specific. Since you're going to get this explanation anyways, and I don't feel like doing it in character right now. Coughs prove themselves, and then they're requested by paperwork, lovely, to the council, who make a recommendation to Erebane to rank them up. Their bonuses to stuff can get ridiculous. Can. New abilities can be unlocked outside of their norm as well. But it has to be done by you guys basically handing in paperwork that says they deserve a rank up because of this, and then that goes to the council, and the council goes, yes, we agree, and the council goes up to Erebane, and Erebane's like, sure, whatever, go away, please, I'm drinking, guys, fine, here, rank, here's a rank, and then he'll rank up.
Something Erebane can always hide in the bread bin.
He can't. There's nowhere there is one place he can hide. People typically don't follow him out to the bridge to nothing. Because he can go far out before he's literally torn back in, whether he likes it or not.
Seems like it's a coin flip between the anthropologist and the herbalist. So does somebody want to flip a coin?
I have a coin.
Well, I think more people are on board with the herbalist.
I mean, we could make the anthropologist work, but
Yeah, they would they would both work on how we play. Because again, that bonus to fitting in is good, but also not having to forage for food ourselves is also really good. So
The only reason I'm calling for a coin flip is that both of those bonuses are well worth the negatives, and they eliminate certain needs for us to do certain things. Like, we are going to, without the anthropologist, have to figure out how to fit in,
Yep.
which can and will take time. But without the herbalist, we are not going to be able to know if things are necessarily safe for us to consume. And in spite of being outsiders, when we're in a sphere, we still need to eat.
Yep,
So there is purified food and drink.
there is, but that does not cure poisons. Something that is not food to you cannot become food to you.
Yep, because in other words, if it is inherently poisonous to us, it is poisonous.
Okay, now here's the question. Do any of us have, like, survival or whatever this
Yes.
would be?
Yep.
I have survival. I might have knowledge of nature too, actually. I do.
So you do have a survivalist in the party.
I'm a ranger. I mean, my survival is not great, but it is still a +6 right now.
That's pretty big, actually.
It's pretty decent. They might be able to easily feed themselves. Feeding all four of you might be a little bit of a difficult thing.
The other thing is, the hats of disguise thankfully provide us a +10 to disguise, I believe.
It does, unless interacted with.
Yeah.
But and each time that you guys enter a sphere, you're going to be relying on the testimony from the individual from that sphere for information on how to act, which may be very outdated in some cases. Bear in mind,
How
not all
do you
spheres
do,
are gonna be
fellow
things.
bipedals?
You, on the other hand, Viv, are going to have to deal with being not a bipedal. You may have to
That's
be dog.
Baldur's
No.
Gate 3 moo.
Moo.
There will be no dog.
Pets the Viv.
Theirs will just be the cat that somehow decided to come to the party anyways.
I came to knock shit off shelves. What do you want from?
Also, wait, so you don't want to be a turtle?
No.
Oh.
But you can't be part of the turtle club without being a turtle. Turtle.
Turtle.
You guys are stupid.
You're smiling in your voice. I hear that. This piece of
Okay.
landmass looks like a pickle. Sorry.
Yes, it does. I pointed that out to you.
It's a pickle. That's Pickle Island. It is now pickly.
The question is, did it turn itself into a pickle?
No, Arabane decided it looked like a pickle and now it tastes like pickle if you lick it. Arabane can't control his brain 100% of the time, damn it.
Right. Getting back to the task at hand.
All right. So heads, anthropologist, tails, herbalist.
Okay.
All right, here we go.
As we
Drink.
flip a sail.
Drink deep and descend.
Right? Somebody call heads or tails for what?
We
I
just
already
did.
Oh, okay.
And it is heads.
Anthropologist it is.
Yep.
All right, you take the posh anthropologist. So the mechanics specifically are that when you guys call for him, it takes 1d10 rounds for him to show up.
Oof.
Which means it can take little time or a very long time because he has to identify you, find you, and everything else.
Good thing we've got healing.
Yep.
Do child leashes come in cough sizes?
He goes, you can't control the cough or hold them. Trust me, others have tried.
That is going to make Shoal try and pick up the anthropologist cough.
The anthropologist cough just allows this to happen. He goes, all right, so, do I get a
can hold
name
him just
now?
Fine.
Oh, I guess we're going places. I didn't know we were going places.
Yes, names.
If you want to know what my life name was, it was Sherbert, I think. It's a little hard because I've heard it said a lot of times, but at the same time, my memory is fractured. I can't actually remember. Maybe it was Sheldon. I don't know.
What do you guys think?
Lost holds up their hands defensively. Oh no, I'm not deciding on a name.
Brett
Brett?
shrugs.
How does Dexter?
Dexter sounds just fine to me.
Dexter it is.
If I remember correctly, that is the name of a serial killer from my homeworld too, so that's almost amusing.
Dr. Volt, do you have any input on this?
Most of the things I name have Mark number in their name. So unless we were to name him Mark, I have no real opinion.
How about we make a minor compromise? How about Dextral?
I do believe it is up to you all until I earn a title.
Dextral?
Yes. Like Dextral and Sinistral. They're words that refer to the right and left hand.
So would that make him our left hand?
No, Sinistral is the left
Dang
hand, amusingly enough.
When one would shake hands, they were ensuring that their opponent could not draw their sword. A sinister man, however, could still draw a weapon. Hence the origin of the modern meaning of the word.
You see, that it gives you an interesting posturation to how a lot of greetings happen across many societies. You see, the bow for many regions is so that way those that had a weapon could not also trot because their hands would be presented at their sides and their heads down. Therefore, if they were to strike, it couldn't be accurate. In more advanced societies, oftentimes you set your weapon aside while doing the bowing. Interesting stuff.
And the salute is simply the raising of the helm, so one could see who the hell they're talking to.
Partially that, and partially because if the hand was at the forehead, they couldn't reach for their weapon at their hip.
Right.
Brett
two are
just
gonna
has
get on-
dazed eyes.
These two are gonna get along like a house on fire. I am here.
Oh, boy.
Ooh, I like your idioms. They'll be so interesting to learn.
You will have plenty of time, I'm sure.
Fret's gonna be like a minnow in a whirlpool, though. I feel bad.
Ah, you must be from an ocean world. I understand that one very specifically.
Yes, the world was 98% ocean.
Understandable. Most worlds are actually very I can't say that word apparently right now. Heavily watered. Because DM can't speak.
We had a
Was
few land masses, but they were not very big.
Was the other 2% Cyberpunk City?
Go to bed, Mala. Good night.
Shola's gonna squint and be like, they were kind of city-like, but we were
That was
not-
entirely out of character and was entirely a reference to Starfield.
Oh, fair.
I'm guessing from the laugh he understood.
Yes, I did.
All right.
I haven't been to that planet yet, so I would.
The man that is your commander clears his throat finally and goes, "It. Sorry, bare throat doesn't do it. It does the growling. I would growl at you, but I have gotten in trouble for that before. Shall we go? I believe Shell's right. Shell is indeed correct, Commander. As I hurt myself, apparently. Let's go back to the inn. Let's look at your introductory options, as it were. First mission.
Good to me.
I would
Fantastic.
appreciate it at this point, Captain.
Listen to people talk. How droll. Boring. Droll. Okay, this sucks. Let's go. English. Or, excuse me, Twilight.
Droll was the correct word.
Don't look at me. I'm not here for brains. I'm here for... I
Hitting-
smack things good.
Yeah.
On the bright
and
side,
real
we've
good.
kept you out of your office for an extended period.
Yes, which means I get to go home, have dinner, and pretend like I don't have to deal with bureaucrats tomorrow.
Punt them.
Did that once, got arrested. Bad idea.
But was it worth punting them?
Maybe. I cannot legally answer that question. The lawyers that exist within the city have said to never answer or speak of that again.
As much as I want to agree with the assessment, you really shouldn't go punting citizens. No
Look, he
matter
was
how...
small and football shaped. I couldn't stop myself. It was like
Was it
his
a
head
no?
was made of a football, and he had the same name as me.
That must have been
No.
unsettling.
Aaron just made a Hey Arnold reference.
Yeah.
Oh, I'm sorry.
I
when
got
we,
it.
When we started talking about things that resemble footballs, I was like, okay, so was it a Namazu? Because I always want to punt Namazu.
Nope, I was going down an entirely different route.
I can't believe I didn't remember Hey Arnold.
Even I did, and I think I watched 2 episodes of that show.
Did you know Arnold wasn't the only one whose character design was based on an object?
Imagine my surprise.
Helga's design was based on broomsticks, specifically the broom part, and Gerald's design was based on an open soup can.
That one I didn't know.
I was not aware of that one.
You guys
Doing
get to
just
the...
look at his hair.
Yeah. So you guys get to the tavern, where your main base will be. This time there's no bar fight going on. It seems like most of the people left after the bar fight got interrupted, which is sad. But they probably weren't in the mood to fight anymore. You guys are
Yeah.
taken to the board where your commander looks over at Tooth, and Tooth just walks over and rearranges it, and then goes back to what he was doing. You guys have 4 initial missions available to you, which may or may not change if you guys don't make a decision now. The first one is labeled as a retrieval mission, and it says a newcomer to the city is requesting someone gather his favorite crop from his homeworld to farm. The next one is an explore mission, which says someone from the observatory district has filed an interesting discovery and is looking for someone to take a look in person. The third one is also an exploratory mission that says another planet was recently discovered hanging on the edge of darkness. It seems to be stuck and not falling in, however. And the last one is a retrieval mission. And this one says the man has been here for a few hundred years. While using the world mirror, he saw someone making a reference to stories he enjoyed as a child. He wants to have you guys purchase a storybook from a shop in his homeworld to have. I'm going to leave you guys free to discuss those options if you don't need any more information or repeats.
Brett will just write a number 2 on his
All right.
chalkboard.
To discuss.
Which one was number 2?
Number
The
2 is to
Exploratory.
explore a discovery that was made by someone who works the observatories.
Number 3 was a new planet was discovered hanging on the edge of darkness but hasn't fallen in.
That one sounds out of our weight class.
But they wouldn't be presenting it to us if we couldn't.
Or would they?
They might be testing us if we'll actually run and get out like we're supposed to if something goes wrong.
I am down for either of the exploratory ones, or getting. But preferably the exploratory. More of my.
Lost Once, number 3 or number 4? Mostly for personal reasons.
Currently tossing up.
I mean, they're To an extent, of all of these, probably the ones that Dr. Volt would prefer the most are 1 and 2, because interesting anomaly, things to learn, and hey, new resource.
And also, it would play into our cough choice.
Yeah. Well, the first one was a request to get a citizen's favorite crop from their world.
Yeah,
But
so they could farm.
I mean, that's another thing that Lost would be interested in, but he's more interested in 3 and 4. But again, Lost is not a dictator, so we can put it up to a vote.
So Shoal is just going to put down his preference as 2, 3, and maybe.
Yeah, Fred will do 2 or 3.
I mean, it's sounding like overall,
It's like 2's got the most votes.
2 has the most votes.
All right, I guess we're looking into a discovery.
Woo! Key, I like this coin.
I'm glad you do. I hope I didn't accidentally forget to fill out the thing. Now I have mind goblins about that.
I
Oh
mean,
no.
they sent it was an email that they sent a couple months, 3 months back, where they just sent a little survey thing.
I know, and I'm pretty
Eh.
sure I filled it out, but mind goblins.
You are able to go back and check. Yeah, there's a way to there's an email they sent after a little while afterwards that was like, hey, yeah, this is another reminder. You didn't finish the link. If and I pulled it up and it told me all that I picked.
Right. I decided to
Yeah.
get juice instead of
Took
more
emails.
water.
Huh?
So I have something.
Came to a decision.
healthy. Yep, I heard that you guys are going for someone from the observatory district has filed an interesting discovery and looking for someone to take a look in person.
Yeah.
When you guys take it, he goes, all right, there should be more information now that you guys have pulled it down. And you can go and interview the person. Their name is at the bottom and where they reside. Or where they currently are. When you guys pull it down, the additional information comes up. This world shows sign of having a population at one point, but there's something strange about this one. As far as I can tell, everything seems to be made of a singular or a strange material that I can't seem to identify. Stranger still, when using the mirror, I see no living animal or people. While the signs of while signs exist saying that there were such things there, they seem to just be gone.
Oh, no.
If you wish to pull down others, you may. You can put this one back.
So they've discovered a world through the mirror.
In the observatory, but in the mirror, they've checked further.
Yeah,
They checked. Yeah.
And everything seems to be made of a singular strange material.
As far as they can tell.
That is very odd. Do we know if we would be capable of surviving in its atmosphere?
As far as he has indicated, it looks like living beings at one point in time existed there. You are summoned, so you should be fine.
Do we know that there wasn't a plague that wiped out everything and is still there in the air?
Nope. You would have to go and question the person that found it. You can go and question him.
That is probably going to be our first course of action, because if we just run off and do it, that's not a great idea.
He
It
goes,
doesn't look great towards us.
all right, process time. So you've got the mission. You go up there and tell Tooth you're taking it. He gives the affirmative, and you all go and do whatever you do. Investigate, and then once you guys have decided to move out, you bring your cough friend, who will be at his residence, to the entrance town where you will check out. You notify us when you leave, you notify us when you come back. Please leave an estimate on the paperwork that says how long you think you will be gone for based on the information.
Darn it, Viv.
Bureaucratic nonsense, go. And
Viv, give me
thusly,
back my tracker.
I don't have it. Era took.
I didn't take anything.
Or whoever took my tracker.
You mean your tracker dot?
The
What?
little the counter thing.
Oh, I have no idea where the that went.
I'm literally staring at it. It's
That's
by
over by
Era.
Hera.
Oh, it's all the way over here. Here you go.
I said Era took it.
I did not take it
Why was it over by you?
because you flung it that far.
You can't prove anything.
I've got a recording. He
That's
goes,
not proof.
if you guys ultimately decide not to take a mission after speaking with the person, please report to Tooth and why.
It was AI generated. It's a deep fake. Meanwhile, I will freely admit to flicking all of those things over towards keys.
Also sad, I may not be getting a coin. I may not have selected that.
Aww.
It's fine. All right. Well then, it looks like we're going to the observatories.
Absolutely. Now, just as one side note, the bureaucrats have highly
Viv,
suggested.
Stop.
Have highly suggested that you guys do not do back-to-back missions and that you take breaks in between and live normal life here in the city for the well-being of your own emotional something or other. I don't know. They used a bunch of big words. I don't know all of them. Something that began with a P but sounds like an S. I don't understand it. This is what happens when you meld 3 or 4 languages together. Any other questions, comments, concerns before I go home for the day?
Nope.
Fantastic. Your cop will give you a card. He will let you know where you live. And you guys can proceed with business as normal. When Tooth decides to speak, say hi for me. And you see Tooth giving the finger.
Yeah.
All right, I'm out. And he salutes. And he leaves.
Right. Well, if we're going to go back through Threshold, I'm going to probably want to drop by the bakery if we have time.
It is quote-unquote afternoon.
We probably have to.
Probably have to what?
We probably have time.
Ah. Yes, well, you never know. Observatories first.
Are you going to hand in the mission to Tooth?
Yes, because due process.
You hand it over, he looks at it and he goes, bloody hell, finally that asshole's gone. And he hands it back and he goes, all yours.
All right. Thank you, Commander.
Captain, technically.
Captain.
Thank you. Commander does not like my accent, so please excuse me if I only give his ass the finger.
So, why don't you like Captain Untheim?
Because he gives me shit about the way I talk.
That is very strange of him.
You would think. Considering he talks like he just came out of a gutter.
Well, hopefully you won't see us back unsuccessful.
Just don't come back dead.
Are we not already?
You know bloody hell what I mean.
Something smirking behind that helmet.
Bloody hell, I can smell your smirk. Get the fuck out of here.
To the observatories, then, unless any of you have something better to do.
I don't have any.
Brett just shrugs.
Lol. Mala just noticed what I added as an emote for him. And the price.
Oh,
I know, I just did that to mess with you, Mala. I'll probably
By the way,
do
Eric, can
something.
we save the table after today's session?
I'll just save it now.
Okay, cool.
Recallers, base, overrate, done.
Haha, Mala. Hee hee. Ho ho.
I'll lower it for you, don't worry. That was just me being funny.
oh, is it the maximum
Yeah, I put it as a
bit
tier
reward?
3. That's why he's like, geez, 130 pounds.
Wow.
37.
Though
Jeez.
isn't one of the potential redeem things that you can do a unlock emote redeem or something?
It is, but it only unlocks it for this stream.
Actually, I
For
believe it
24
unlocks it
hours.
for 24 hours.
So he
So
could come and waste his points on that, but do I really want to be that mean in the long term?
Hey, it would be a thing that is not cheese.
True. It only works on basic emotes. Oh, sad.
Bad times.
Oh,
Lame. We'll put it down to something else. Don't worry, Beerus. That was just me giving you shit. All right.
making fun of the moth is always.
All right. All right. Wow, it's only 8:30 my time.
Yeah.
Feels so much later. I wonder why. It's not like I have any light in my office. Do you guys want some open roleplay time? For a few minutes? That way I can put my brain back together.
sure. Minor stretch.
Also, I'm totally gonna have Shoal have a more ocean version of this drink deep and send coin. Because that sounds like something they would say.
Sounds like something an organization of Fey hunters would have. So, Dr. Volt,
Yes?
I'm surprised.
What?
Usually, when people figure out that I'm unusual, they begin asking questions.
This whole place is unusual. If something very usual, that would be unusual.
This is true.
Brett nods sagely.
You didn't follow a single bit of that, did you?
Brett shakes his head.
Though, I suppose I owe you all an amount of explanation. Weaknesses, and my fear. Given where we're going, they may or may not be pertinent. And it is better that you know than not. I. Doctor, are you familiar with what a black hole is?
As familiar as one can be, all things considered. They're exceptionally difficult to study given their nature.
Understandable. My world fell into one. If you would like further explanation, I can, but I'd rather not. Suffice to say, that should explain my fear of deep pits. But
The most pressing question I have is how did time seem to flow then?
endlessly.
Firmly yet forever. It was but a blink of an eye. Yet it felt like an eternity. And everything became
better.
spaghetti.
Ooh, spaghetti. I'm sorry. I'm sorry. I thought you were talking about that you got spaghetti, not that my character became spaghetti.
Nope, spaghettification is something that happens when you cross the event horizon.
I am aware. My brain
Spaghetti.
did not click. That said, my species has unusual weaknesses due to our physiology. I'm allergic to sugar for some reason. I never quite learned why we are allergic to sugar so commonly. But more than that, powerful magnetic flux and environmental factors can tear our bodies apart, should we lack a suit. So if, for instance, I were to be de-armored, for lack of politer terms, I would be highly vulnerable. Powerful winds and waters would be able to sweep me away easily.
So definitely make sure you have a very, very high quality if you ever go to my home.
Oh, trust me. Unless circumstances demand it, I don't plan to take this off. He gestures to his current professional guard armor that he has.
Sure, Mala.
Good night, Mala. Everybody say good night to Beerus. Good night, Mala.
I'd say
Good
goodnight if I
night.
believed he was actually going to bed.
Yeah, go to bed.
See you in an hour.
All right.
Ask Vari. That's what I say to him basically every time he says he's going to bed.
Yep.
Yep.
Yep, it's very accurate. Very funny.
Just turn off the lamps. He'll go. All right. So you guys are going to make it to the observatory district unless certain Vari wants to roll.
Go ahead with the.
The narrative. You guys make it to there, and it's been quite a long day for y'all now. Too bad it's still twilight. As you guys make it up to the observatory, this one is not necessarily the highest of tech. It is still beyond Olerun's scope of what they would produce currently. And you guys get to the door. The door is auspiciously open, something that this local scientist may recognize as somebody is too busy studying to remember to shut their own goddamn door. Oh no.
Oh no.
Haven't you ever heard of closing the goddamn door?
The references and stuff that we've been making so far
That one was lost on me.
Haven't you ever heard of closing the goddamn door?
No,
I don't remember the rest of the fucking.
something's the
chords.
cause of things. Something
Yeah.
casualty.
Okay.
It's a
Well,
song
Brett-
reference.
Something. It's
Fret will
something.
just stroll in.
Fret's,
Fret will just strolling in the door.
you stroll in the door and you see nobody, but you do see what looks like a living room that hasn't been touched in probably a while. You hear the sounds of the telescope being used, moving very faintly, the creaks going through the walls,
Oh,
indicating he might be upstairs.
Well, up the stairs, Shoal goes.
You go up the stairs and you find what looks like to be some sort of question mark canine, frazzled, sitting behind the telescope, scribbling things down. And the moment you get up, he goes, "All goods!" I seize it. It is a dot. And then you see him throw his notes down and go very limp in his chair. We're in a space where space and time are not reals, but for the love of gods, we can't make a better lens.
Unfortunately, given the general technology level,
He jumps and nearly falls out of his chair, and he goes, "Oh my gods!"
He was talking to himself.
oh, my apologies.
How'd
I
you get in?
You left the door open.
Oh, for the loves of... Frank! Where the hell are you? An invisible servant only wearing a bow tie walks up. Shut the goddamn door! And then you watch as this bow tie floats down the stairs. Just tells him everything's... You don't tell him, he doesn't do that.
That's how Unseen Servant works.
Stop saying that. I programmed him. Meticulously. It took me 7 hours to give him all the instructions in one goes.
You do realize that when you do that, they're going to perform every single instruction.
Oh, so that why explains why he did everything once and then stopped.
Yeah.
What else? Well, as you're in my house, I'm assuming you're here for our reasons.
Correct. Lost is going to hold up the mission assignment.
His eyes go wide and he goes, "You guys are we colors? Yes?
We are, yes.
Fret nods.
You
The
guys..."
doctor is suspiciously absent, having gotten distracted in the first room, and is now examining all of the various
little,
technologies.
the little trophies and stuff he has. He goes, "Fantastics, come here." And he grabs whoever is closest by the arm and drags them over to his desk, where he unfurls a bunch of colored sketches. It looks like a world. He goes, "It's so fascinating. Everything doesn't change here anymore, but plants seem to grow, but there isn't really weather. But the rain is pink and fizzes."
Out of character Pepto-Bismol rain.
And then he flips some more pages and he goes, "It's almost made out of candy and cakes and stuffs. But that can't be true, right? I need you guys," whoever he dragged over, he's going to shake, "to tells me what this world is made of and what happens to the peoples that were here. Because I have seen towns..." He flips this thing over. It looks like your average medieval town. "And I have seen monuments to gods." He flips to books of gods and registers and paintings of kings. He flips the
Well,
page again.
Shoal was the first up the stairs, so
Poor holes. Yet no living animals. That's all. No peoples? What happens here? I needs to knows.
Well, there's only one way to find out.
I suppose the only thing we can do is explore directly.
Fantastic! He says, throwing up his hands ecstatically, since I don't have hand tracking on.
So, there are no living sentient races on that world?
Not that I seen, the only thing of weirdness, and something I should mention according to the pamphlets, there's one buildings that I cannot scry upon using the world mirror.
That implies the use of lead. It thwarts all divinations.
So that would be interesting. I don't know why they would build it so. It's only one's buildings. It's small, it's unassuming. I've been able to see it somewhat from a distance, but it just looks like a box.
Do you have any sketches of this building?
It's a box.
What of its surroundings?
Just cities. I would assume a capital based on its size, in its populations, that density based on estimates of houses I've seen. But, not much more I can really say about that one. It's just a box. It's by the... Well, we're going to call it the capital buildings. It doesn't have the normal properties. It looks like it's, extra extravagant, cathedral-like, in a ways.
A cathedral?
Kind of
How
like the
odd.
castle here, except, it has all those fancy extras.
It's possible that that is a divine presence, or perhaps a hole in the world.
Or was, as unfortunately the cathedral is completely empties. And that means completely. It's no furnitures, no peoples, no paintings. I found some of the paintings that probably should be there in other parts of the city, but it looks like it got ransacked.
I wonder. It might be possible that the people of that world fled it for another.
Very plausible. I want to know what it's made of. It's so weird. It looks almost real, but it has something so off about it. And the pink fizzy rain is interesting. There was a fountain, but it has nothing in it anymore.
So, does the rain do anything besides fizz?
Not that I can tell. Fortunately, the world mirrors only gives me so much. And I am also very small and frizzy. And I should not leave the observatory for any reasons. And that's a hard way.
Why?
Have you ever heard of something called the rocket ships?
Yes.
Do
I'm
you know what
familiar.
nuclear fission is?
Yes.
Do you know why you shouldn't put those two things together? Because I do.
Ah,
Good old Project Orion.
I see. Unfortunately, my people were incapable of reaching that particular technology in spite of our advancement.
So that's probably a good thing. It turns out when you put nuclear fissions as a propulsion unit, it tends to erase you. Very permanently. As well as about 200 others, only about 16th are his. And very angry at me.
I don't see why, unless the idea was yours.
Oh, I didn't tell anybody as I was doing it.
Ah, I can suddenly see why.
So I stays here. You guys go.
So, history lesson for people in case they don't know. Project Orion was what if we took rocket ships and launched them using nuke?
Oh no. Also, Fret taps the message that he wrote out.
What'd you write out? That's
It's in Tabletop Simulator.
I have that hidden, so somebody will have to read it.
Oh, never mind. Okay.
Fret writes out, can you mark the location for our cough to locate?
Yes. You wants to go poke the building, shoes?
As much as your mission is our priority, an unscribable building is of interest, particularly if it's the only unscribable building on that world you've been able to find.
This gives me 1 second as he pages through documents. Let's see, we got the north and the south, it is in the north. About 30 ticks from the equators. We have no longitude, so I based it off the large city, which makes it zeros. And here's you go. And he hands you... hey, Vari, roll a navigation.
All right.
But yeah, Project Orion was surprisingly efficient for the government. It only took them 17 years to realize, wait a minute, launching space shuttles with nuclear rockets is a really fucking stupid idea.
Okay, so that is a 13.
It is a map. You think it'll do? You just hope that the cough that you hand it to has some scientific note or abilities to their name when it comes to navigating. Because if they don't, this will be hard to read. You kind of understand.
Yeah, sadly, my profession modifier is not great because wisdom.
It's fine. But that's information you get from this map.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, 17 years for the United States government to realize that nuclear propulsion was a very, very, very deadly idea. Only 17. Only 17.
Not just one, several nuclear detonations.
Yes, the whole idea is it would go off in mini stages. That way it would prevent the spread of radiation, except for in the local area within a 500-meter radius.
Yeah, that I imagine worked great.
There's a reason why we don't have it. Because, that and when we hit the atmosphere, they weren't sure what was going to happen when we hit the electrosphere.
Yeah, they were kind of worried that we would literally ignite the atmosphere doing this.
Or possibly just EMP it. Which is actually the project that led to the discussion about what an EMP is and whether or not it's possible. Fun facts. Anything else you want to ask this man?
So, plant life grows, correct?
Yes, it does, somehow.
Alright. Have you witnessed any bones through the mirror?
Surprisingly, no. I found some graveyards, but I couldn't peer underneath the grounds. It's dark there.
I see. Did any of you have anything you wish to ask?
Brett shakes his head.
No, I'm good.
And Doctor is not there.
Correct.
Dr. Volt is currently looking at a trophy of what looks like a skull of some unknown creature.
Brett will look around and notice that the doctor isn't there.
Doctor? Oh dear. Starts to just briskly power walk downstairs. Doctor?
Yes.
Oh. Good. I was concerned briefly that you had wandered off.
I was simply looking at what sort of curiosities another man of science.
I see. Anything of interest?
Nothing in. So, what do we know about this mission, job? What do we call it? Assignment?
Any of those would be sufficient. That said, our directive is to figure out what the planet is made of, which may or may not involve bringing back a sample if possible.
Samples are always appreciated. I'm not listening inside your private conversations, I swears.
He would eye roll if he could. That said, there is also a singular building somewhere on that world that cannot be scried.
Well, that is
The
a
most,
promising lead.
it is. The most common explanation would be walls of lead, but apparently it's a chapel of some sort.
No, the building is a box next to a castle.
Ah, okay.
That is
building's-
cathedral-like in its stature.
The building is some sort of box next to a cathedral or castle. It could be a bunker. It could be nothing. Though I suppose nothing is the more frightening option.
One does not typically build a giant lead box for no reason. Unless that is what they do on that planet, but since there is only the one, I would assume it is not a common pastime.
Correct. Especially given there are major settlements there. There is also no sign of life aside from flora.
Well, that is relatively concerning.
Indeed. The rain is also pink and fizzes. It may be acidic.
But not acidic to the plant life.
Well, it could also be a very powerful base, but in either case, you are correct. It would usually be detrimental to the plant life, so it must have adapted. Or it's something else entirely.
Well, we shall just have to see for ourselves, won't we?
That seems to be the general consensus. But, if all else fails, our main objective is to figure out what the planet is made of. After that, we can return.
I am always interested in discovering new materials. Who knows what implications they could have to any of my various fields of study.
So it sounds like you guys are officially taking this on, correct?
think so.
No reason not to at
Yeah.
this moment.
You are told that the travel will take the cop, or your cop informs you it'll take him about a day to get you guys there. So to prepare any foodstuffs that you need, any water or anything else that you will also need. He also warns you that since he is so low rank, he can only make a jump once per cycle, which means that the planet will have to go through a full day before he can pull you out. and himself.
Oh, also he gets given the coordinates.
He is scientific minded, thankfully, so it actually makes some sense to him. There's a chance he will fail, but we will cross that bridge when you do. In the meantime, this is your last chance in character for you guys to do any basic supply shopping that you think you will need for this.
Yep, I had a few things on there that I realized I didn't.
You guys
Like
may
water
want to
skins and stuff.
discuss these things and make sure you guys are all good while I really quickly go to the bathroom again because I'm getting too much liquid.
Oh, actually, price for an umbrella. $2 GP. Okay. Tret is going to acquire an umbrella.
That's actually not a bad idea in general. Dr. Volt shell as well, along with something that I am legitimately surprised I didn't put down earlier. He's gonna have a bunch of like vials and shit.
Oh, that's a good idea.
Oh, yeah. How much does an umbrella weigh, by the way?
Not a whole lot. Hold on, let me scroll down to it. Umbrella, parasol, 3 pounds.
Okay. Also, sorry if I'm having trouble contributing. I'm getting tired.
Oh.
Try to find a candle to light my room with instead of using my phone anymore. Did we want to use this natural stopping point as a stopping point and stop a little bit early tonight, or did we want to continue?
I mean, Key just said he's tired.
Yeah, so,
He
I
should
mean...
probably sleep.
I'm tired too because I'm sitting in a goddamn dark
Oh.
room. Which
Like,
is...
if y'all wanted to continue, I can keep going to the normal time.
So can I.
But I'm okay with stopping here.
Okay, that's good, because I kind of need to take a significant bath.
Okay.
All right, let me find somebody to raid. Who do I want to raid?
People.
This also gives us a chance to actually shop.
Yes, yes, it does.
I've already spent almost all of my monies.
I still have over 700 scales left.
Jesus.
The
Did you
biggest expenditure I've had was that basically I just combined an ever-burning torch with a lamp.
Like, I haven't bought armor or anything.
Why not?
I have 19 AC.
Darn you and your 19 AC without armor. That's what I have with armor and shield.
Here, let's actually do a raid message this time too. Which raid message do we want to do? We'll
Like, you
just
gotta
do that.
realize I have a dex modifier of 6, Kai. So, like, I'd need some of the fancier armor if I wanted to keep my full dex. A little more expensive stuff, and I'm just kind of not wanting that expensive.
Okay, I shall mute out to do outro for chat.
That's fine.
Okay.
There's the raid message, chat. I'm going to go ahead and do our raid out. We can do general discussion afterwards. In the meantime, thank you so much for watching, ladies and gentlemen. Like, subscribe, hit follow button over here in Twitchland. Something September for like another day or something like that, where you guys can do
No,
the
this
half.
is the last day, I think.
Yeah, this might be the last day, so come do it or something. I don't know. In the meantime, thank you so much for watching. Drink more water, take care of yourselves, get plenty of rest, and see you in a couple of weeks.